Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da. Da 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 da.
Hey, Zarius.
Hello. Who's that?
I'm that terribly creepy villain you've been working on. I
Oh,
had some thoughts about some terribly overpowered abilities that I could use against your players as they fight wave after wave of my seemingly endless minion horde.
that sounds really fun, but I don't know where my notebook is right now for my dungeon
You
notes.
fool! You should be using World Anvil.
World Anvil? What's World Anvil?
World Anvil has everything you need to start creating and building
Really?
your world. You can upload maps, make character or villain profiles, timelines, update world lore, and much, much more.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna have to definitely sign up for. Why are you laughing like that?
All right, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Episode 5 of Vow of the Keepers. Let's see where our shenanigans lead us this week, shall we?
I never thought we'd make it this far.
We did our best to keep that from happening.
Anyways, welcome, everybody. Glad you're all here. Be sure to spread the word, tweet out the tweet, the stream, retweet the stream, and show some love. We are, of course, still looking to give away an amazing copy of Baldur's Gate: Descent to Avarice. So, get to 25 subs. That will be on the block. So, spread the word so we can give that away. And of course, I want to say we not be responding to follows, hosts, subs, bits, donations, or anything else while in the act of role playing. To not break our immersion, as usual. And of course, we want to thank our amazing sponsor, World Anvil. For everything you need to start creating and building your world, you can sign up for free and get started right away at www.worldanvil.com. And you can join their Discord at the link in chat. It's an amazing Discord with an amazing people. If you're in the role-playing, storytelling, art, maps community, it's a great place to collaborate and share ideas. Hit them up. They're amazing. And of course, we want to thank the Roll20 for their support for use of the virtual tabletop, the pro membership they supply us with, as well as some of the book material. We appreciate it. And of course, without further ado, I'll turn it over to the Masters of Ceremonies for this campaign. Take it away, Kim.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in yet again to Vow of the Keepers. We've got a interesting session lying ahead, I feel like. Last time, our amazing party of fledgling keepers was doing a little snooping, a little investigating here in the Kingdom of the Druidic Alliance. They poked their nose into a public work project and discovered that the druids have been secretly resurrecting extinct animals and adding them to their wild shape repertoire, as well as just sort of like reviving the species in general. There's now these strange lizard creatures wandering the countryside and within the borders of their kingdom, and everyone's just kind of like, I'm sorry, did you run that past anyone before you started doing that? No. So after a heated confrontation with Loris, the druid representative on the governing council of the kingdom, and Bardolphus, the head of the council, who was complicit in keeping things quiet, we found a somewhat vaguely amicable agreement, a public apology, and some gold quietly changing hands, and everything's going to be just hunky-dory, or so we hope. So we're going to pick up where we left off, which is with Bardolphus and Loris getting marched out the front door of the council chamber to make a public apology to the curious onlookers who followed the party to the council chambers after dragging a necromancer and an unconscious council member across the entire breadth of the city in full display. Everyone's kind of like, that's a little odd. So
Czar would never drag anyone anywhere through a city ever.
yeah, no,
No.
there's no precedent for that happening.
Nope.
Hey, at least none of them were dead this time.
baby steps towards lawful good.
Yes.
So is there anything that you guys would like to do before you actually go out the front door?
Are we ready to stab either one of them if they do something stupid?
Yeah, just-
Lucy would pocket the book she nabbed from Bardolphus. To
Okay.
inspect it later.
Just ready for any kind of trouble.
If I remember correctly, Shelly's pissed right now.
I wouldn't say pissed, but mildly irritated, which is the most pissed you guys have ever seen them, so close enough.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
So Bardolphus is going to kind of turn to his like personal assistant Stefan and just kind of gesture him over, like, go outside and calm them down and send them out ahead, because they'll turn to you guys and be like, makes sense, right? The last the crowd heard was unconscious. Now they're conscious. Maybe ease the tension a little.
I'm just gonna stare at him.
Fair enough.
Okay, so Stefan will run out ahead. And then they'll keep making their way down the hall. Just kind of Loris is gonna turn. So we're fine. The animals are okay, right? We're working this out. Everybody's gonna, right? Like just that little bit of hesitation of.
I would
mean-
say. Sorry, go ahead, Shelly.
Well, I said that you should probably, like, actually send the information up to the right people, because we don't, like, make the laws, we just enforce them, so you should probably still tell whoever you're supposed to tell these sorts of things.
Oh yeah, if an official comes in here and sees them running around, not gonna look good.
And I'll just note that even though you got away with a fine and apology, if any of your druids shapeshift into one of those lizard creatures again and attack one of us, we will make sure that the full wrath of the keepers and the Empire comes down to make them extinct again. And I'll smile at her.
Well, I'm certainly glad Bardolphus sent Stefan out ahead of us in that case, just to be on the safe side. And then they'll walk out the front door.
Yes, we'll be right behind them.
Yeah.
So that's everybody's coming out front.
Yep.
After the
Okay.
two, yeah.
Unless Kenley's rummaging through the room back there while we're all out here.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, actually, she may stay behind.
Okay. So the three of you follow them out the front door, and there is a decent sized crowd outside. Like, it, given the size of the capital, it's not like half the city or anything crazy
Mhm.
like that. But there's a good couple hundred people standing around here. Like, you know, whispers move quickly through the town, and people are trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You know, after seeing a council member go by unconscious. So there's a couple hundred people. There's a few that are looking a little defensive. They may have been in a sort of like at the ready attack sort of stance before Stefan came out first and was like, whoa, 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 time out, time, like tried to calm things down, but there's still some tension towards the front 2 rows or so of people that are looking like, do we do something? Is this good? Was this good? Is this bad? What do we do? There's a lot of confusion in the crowd as much as there is concern and just sort of curiosity, but there's also a lot of like trepidation in terms of what's about to happen. Let's see. Let's get let's say Zar, let me get a perception check from you.
All right. I'm gonna use lucky.
Good call. Good call. Oh,
Yeah, good call.
That's much better. So looking out across the crowd, you see a lot of druids, a few rangers, things like that. You also notice towards the back, there's a couple of people trying very deliberately to look inconspicuous to the point where they look conspicuous.
Okay. I'll inconspicuously keep an eye on them.
And so Bardolphus will kind of take point a little bit on this and just sort of, okay, citizens, everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Everything's fine. They're young, freshly promoted keepers. They're just here to kind of make first introductions, and some words were exchanged, and and somebody's just like, but they were unconscious a second ago, and pointing at Loris, and Loris is like, do I look unconscious? I'm like they're sort of trying to tag team the crowd a little bit here.
I'm gonna get up, but I'm gonna move up behind them, and I'm just quietly going to say, "This does not sound like an apology, and nor does it sound like you telling them to comply with us.
That's coming too. Just
It better come quickly."
bringing attention. Our fine druid citizenry have been busy with a specialty project. The canal project has been repurposed for some druid stuff, and you hear somebody chime in, yeah, we know, we fly over it twice a day. And like there's a lot of like crowd heckling and things now that they're sort of realizing it's not as dire as it seemed when you first walked out the door. So they're getting a bit of like heckle back from the crowd and things like that. And you're like, things were said and not said that should have been said and should have not been said. So we would like to formally apologize on behalf of the kingdom to this fine contingent of promising young keepers. It won't happen again. And we would like to urge the citizenry, as always, to cooperate with their efforts to maintain peace and harmony within our fine kingdom and all of our neighbor kingdoms on the island. And Rodolphus is kind of looking at you like, is this what you wanted to hear? Like, I'm doing the best I can over here.
And Zar will nod and kind of like step in between them. And also, I know Bardolphus was wanting to tell you this personally, but the Druids and Bardolphus have decided that since the canal project was waylaid, all of the extra homes and people that were displaced will be paid an extra 50% of their property value for the trouble. And then I will step back again.
Lucy will lean in. Oh, you little shit.
If he was chewing gum right now, he would have just swallowed it, because there was that bit of like, I'm sorry, how much extra? Like, we're a kingdom of druids. We don't exactly have deep pockets. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Too late now.
Yeah, tell me about it. Like, we're gonna have to have a talk about, like, he's switching back to like an authoritative mode of like, we're gonna have to have a discussion about this, and then he realizes who he's trying to be like authoritative with. They're like, I would like to rediscuss this new like that shift back and forth in tone.
Lucy's just gonna cross her arms and try to look like intimidated or something.
You gotta make the crowd happy.
Yeah.
That should make some people very happy.
Okay. Shelly, make a perception check for me.
Ooh.
18.
Okay. And let's see. Okay, we'll cut back to that here in a second. We're going to pick up with our prodigal son returned, Finnegan. Caught your attention there. You're sleeping on your keyboard.
I'm not sleeping, but you
uh-huh.
said prodigal, so I was like, are we talking about someone else here? I know we have a princess in the group.
Yeah. So, the rest of the group is off in the Kingdom of the Druidic Alliance, dealing with the druids and their dinosaurs and things like that. Meanwhile, the only actual druid in the party is missing all of this because he's back in Victoria, exploring leads and trying to hunt down more information on the clues that they had picked up there. So in partnership with Semelka, the mayor of the city, you've been, trying to track down the people from the shipping manifests and trying to ship that were getting flagged for permit problems that you found. You were going through the records hall again, trying to pick up some of that stuff. Just general kind of hunting things down on this end, trying to do whatever you can to in support of the group that went on ahead. So how would you like to try to tackle that? You have anything specific that you want to try to run down, or any?
Based on the permits that came back flagged, I would probably try to be running through, documenting whether they have entered through the port of Victoria and if they've left the port. Basically, just trying to narrow down if there are still potential threats that could be inside of Victoria that we know of. Would probably be where I'd first be focusing my efforts on.
Okay. Let me get two investigation checks from you, just back to back them.
Just run them as manage and you just count both.
Yeah. Real solid.
Ooh.
I've had like 3 weeks to do this, guys.
So with the digging that you've done, you've managed to nail down that there's a couple of, out of the 6 names that you originally flagged in the first time through the record hall, you've nailed down that 2 of them are definitely not on the island. 3 of them are supposedly on the island. They're supposed to be, let me double check here. 2 of them should be in the Valley of Inspiration. You're not sure which town or village, but somewhere in the Valley of Inspiration. And the 3rd one should be in Forge Hearth. The last one should be here in Victoria, but with the mass exodus of ships after Czar's demonstration in the Poorer district.
It's like all the ships have left and everyone's like, oh, fuck, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so they may be, that 6th one may be hard to nail down. They were supposed to be here, but they may have fled. They may not have fled. It's going to be, you'd have to go like slip by slip to see if their ship's still docked somewhere in town. But you've at least got 3 that should be on the island as of now. They haven't come back out through Victoria, customs and control. And 2 of them that are definitely off the island. So
you
that's
said 2
where you're
in the
at.
Valley of Inspiration, the one that was where?
Forge Hearth. You've also gotten a little bit more information on the mass assassination of keepers. You know that candidate keepers and field keepers were their main targets. Low-ranking keepers such as you guys were more or less ignored or just caught in collateral damage. There was at least 8 definite confirmed field keepers that were killed, and a half a dozen candidate keepers. So you guys took a big hit on this, is what you're piecing together from just information that's coming into Victoria. You know that the island itself still has a couple of keepers on it, but hard figures are sketchy at best. A lot of them don't check in on a regular basis, or they check in once every couple of weeks. So it's hard to know which kingdom they might be in, what town they're in, what they're up to, but there's at least a few that are still sprinkled around the island somewhere. It's just a matter of, can you find them, can you connect with them, and what you can do once you find them. You do know that Orla is at the School of Gladiatorial Arts from the message that you got from headquarters that sent the rest of the group heading into the island. But beyond that, it's all kind of hearsay, and so is supposed to be somewhere, but we don't know, and we haven't seen her, and just a lot of back and forth chit chat and stuff.
Right.
The healer that's supposed to help try to revive Silverheart has not shown up yet. It's only been a couple days. They're not back yet. So he's still down on the count, laying across Tamelka's desk, unless you help her move him.
I mean, don't have a morgue, do they? Because I mean, I would want to refrigerate his body, or contain.
Yeah, like you could probably find a cleric or a druid to help you cast like Spare the Dying, or
Gentle Repose is a wizard spell.
Yeah, or like a couple of cold spells to sort of like put him on ice a bit. That shouldn't be too much of a big deal task, but they don't have like a government morgue necessarily that specializes in that. You'd have to go track somebody down and ask a favor, or pay out some gold for it.
Not non-lethal frostbite.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Well then, two. So one's in Forge Hearth, 2 in Valley of Inspiration. Okay. Then from there, I would probably, as I'm waiting for the healer to show up and/or get in touch with other field keepers or candidates, I would probably be focusing on understanding the contraptions, those guns in the downtime, trying to figure out either I could find fatal flaws or weaknesses or defenses to protect ourselves in the coming future of another shooting. So probably, if I do figure out how to run one of those weapons, to start working on, I guess, practice of armors and shields, how they will run up against, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure different materials, different types of materials of armors would probably be more or less effective, depending on.
Yeah. It's a little, thinking about it more, it's a little dicey just because you're a druid, so technically you're a little kind of sketchy on dealing with like the metallurgy of the bullets, the projectiles, and some of those components of the weapon. But if you want to go ahead and make an investigation check at disadvantage, or no, I'll let you make either a straight investigation check or a nature check at disadvantage to try to get more insight into how these work and what they're up to.
Probably disadvantage of nature, just because I'm not wanting to necessarily use them properly. I just want to be able to learn about them. So just be the nature of the weapon.
Yeah.
So disadvantage.
Okay, so it's a bit of a low roll. So you do kind of get a feel for, um, like as you said, that there's different kinds of projectiles, and depending on which one you come up against, some armor is going to fare better than others that people have. Like, some of these things are really going to just dig through plate, no matter how thick you make it, and some of them will bounce off, and you get that kind of sense of, there's a few different things you could do to protect yourselves. You get a couple inklings of ideas for like, um, stack leather, or some kind of, maybe this just those sort of like alternate materials aside from a traditional metal armor that might be worth trying, but
Like a
nothing
composite.
really like firm.
Got it.
It's a lot of hearsay, a lot of guesswork, a lot of hypothesis at this stage.
It's totally fine. I got plenty of time here by myself. Plenty of time.
Okay, so while you're back in Victoria doing that, we'll jump back over to um, the kingdom here, to Rhodis, where Kinley is rifling around in the council chamber private meeting space. What are you getting up to there?
I am searching it, seeing what I can find. Anything out of the ordinary or suspicious.
Okay. You can make an investigation check.
All right.
We're doing a lot of Scooby-Doo work today.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Okay, that's not too bad. So, you see it, for the most part, everything seems like standard sort of government body stuff. Things you would expect a council to have on their desk. A lot of architectural plans and permitting and tax records, all that kind of stuff. Nothing um, glaringly out of line or suspicious jumps out at you. Um, you do get the, like, you register or realize, you haven't seen them being used yet, but the three brazier looking devices sitting in between the tables are designed to allow them to communicate with the other governing bodies of the kingdoms on the island here.
Okay.
That's why there's three of them, for the other three kingdoms, so they could have like a group powwow kind of gathering if they needed to put their heads together as an island.
All right.
So you picked up that detail of the room, but there's no sort of like, you know,
Nothing hidden anywhere.
there's no like
No.
smoking gun kind of book sitting on a table anywhere or anything like that.
Okay. So nothing hidden anywhere. Nothing.
No, nothing
stashed away.
like that. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So we will cut back, unless there's anything else you'd like to do real quick in the room there. You're gonna.
No, I'm just gonna go through all the books, look, for anything that might be hidden, like hidden drawers, hidden, stash spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Just see what I can find, if anything.
Okay. So we'll pop back out to outside, where Shelly had that fairly strong perception check that we cut away from. So you notice that Bardolphus, in all of his gesticulation and big pronouncements to the crowd and things like that, seems to be making certain gestures kind of repeatedly and with a little bit of deliberateness, but it's all just sort of blended into big pronouncements and the keepers and like this and that and a lot of gesturing, but every once in a while he comes back to the same sort of like couple of hand signs over and over again. And then simultaneous with this, since Czar had a natural 20 on his perception check, the couple of guys that you noticed being conspicuously inconspicuous, seem to be whispering in someone towards the back of the crowd's ear. Pretty like like they're just sort of having a very quiet sort of conversation with this one person.
Okay, but I don't see what Shelly sees, so I wouldn't put two and two together.
No, you're picking up on these simultaneously, but unless you tell each other or bother to point it out to each other, it's independent information.
How far are we away from the crowd?
It's a stairway up to like a slight platform, so you're maybe 15 feet plus up a couple plus up. So on a diagonal, you're probably like 20 feet from you to a crowd because you're going down maybe 8 feet and then like out another like 10 to 15 feet.
And while these people are whispering, are their eyes still locked on Bardolphus as they're kind of like whispering to this dude, or do they kind of like look away to tell this person something? Or
no, they're focused pretty squarely on you up on the platform there as a group.
Okay.
A collective view. They're focused on you, but they're just sort of like leaned over, mumbling something into this guy's ear. But you're not at this distance. You have no way of knowing what. It's just something's going on at the back of the room.
Okay. And then I'll just continue to watch while Bardolphus flabbergasts at the realization that I just announced he's going to be paying out a lot more money.
Is Bardolphus is the one who's actually doing the talking, right?
Yeah, Loris is kind of like chiming in here and there and sort of like, yeah, that what he said, that like that kind of stuff. But Bardolphus is really kind of like leading the conversation and being the charismatic one in the out of the bunch.
Well, they are kind of irritated. So I suppose that would be an acceptable expression of irritation. At some point when he's done talking and like goes to take a breath or whatever, and is just like kind of chilling, like composing himself for the next whatever he's going to flabbergast. Shelly's gonna be like, yeah, you might want to like get your hands checked or something, because you seem to be like talking to people when you're talking to people, and it's usually polite to only be talking to like one people at a time, unless you like to, let the rest of us in on what's going on, because it's kind of rude, and you're supposed to be apologizing. I don't think they'd appreciate it very much.
He's just kind of glances over his shoulder at you and he's like, I'm doing exactly what was asked of me. You told us to apologize and make amends, and that's exactly what we're doing. And he's still gesturing away, just as like adamant or like energetically as he has been the whole conversation.
While Bardolphus is engaged with Shelly, and me hearing what she said, I'm gonna kind of, I'm just gonna kind of like back off a little bit and down the platform a little bit, just like casually, a bored expression on my face, like, oh my god, will this dude ever shut up? And just like slowly make my way down to the front of the crowd. And when I do, I want to pull my hood up on my cloak of Elvenkind, and I want to blend in with the crowd and start making my way to the back.
Okay.
There's one thing Zara can do. He can blend in a crowded city. So
yeah, make a stealth check with advantage.
Yeah, stealth check with advantage.
Upon seeing Zarly, Lucy will kind of just move a little bit to occupy a little more space, so it looks less like he's not there.
Did you guys give me the Ring of Disguise Self? I don't remember.
I believe they did. Yeah, given your proclivities, they thought you'd make the most use of it.
Okay, well, after I blend into the crowd, like as I'm like ducking in between some people or whatever, I'm going to activate that and change my appearance to look with my cloak. I'm just going to change my like skin tone and facial features if somebody was to look at my face to be more elvish. So with the cloak of Elvenkind, I would look a lot more druidic.
Okay. So I'll factor that into your stealth roll accordingly.
Okay.
So are you still trying to keep tabs on the people at the back of the room just for
Oh yeah. Yeah.
okay. So you've very subtly slipped down the stairs and into the crowd and changed your disguise selfness and everything like that. And then you hear essentially like a rage scream come from the back of the room, roughly where you remember seeing them whispering in a guy's ear.
Uh-huh.
The people up on the dais who have the vantage point to see him clearly, he looks almost like in stereotypical werewolf movies when they're going through their first forced change, and it's just a lot of like rage screaming and shape shifting and pain and agony and things like that. It looks like it's being done to him rather than him doing it himself, and he shapeshifts into a large reptile creature. You can make a history check to know which one it is, but it's large. It looks armor plated across the back, and its tail looks like basically like a war hammer all on its own.
Yeah, Zar's not even gonna. I'm not even gonna bother with that because Zar would know nothing about any of that. So, but I see this happening. My eyes would be on the other two people that were whispering in his ears. Though, are they like running away from him now, or?
They've backpedaled substantially. Obviously, once the screaming and the transforming into a giant lizard thing happened, the crowd has turned around and gone, "Holy shit!" And they're scattering. Oh my god, what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
A
I
lot
am
of
totally blending in with the crowd.
yeah. So they're
yeah.
they're scattering to to every which way exit out of this plaza in front of the council chambers, and the two shadowy figures have backpedaled away from the person that they've messed with, and they're kind of just sort of floating in that crowd, that sea of people that are scattering and fleeing and running away.
I'm gonna pick the closest one that I can, and I'm gonna keep a bead on them, as I'm not gonna let them get away.
Would it be possible for me to send Meryl to fly overhead to keep an eye on them as well?
Yeah, like you don't necessarily know that they're there. Like Czar saw them, but you only saw Bardolphus doing his gesturing. He just kind of slipped away. So you could send Meryl up to keep an eye, and if Meryl spots Czar like dead focused on someone, you could kind of two and two together.
Well, if Meryl could recognize Zar with his hood up and plus his features being changed with the skies.
Yeah, it's a bit of a long shot, but you can at least put Meryl up for recon and hope for the best. So, at seeing this happen in the crowd scattering and everything, Loris is just like, "Oh my god, what the hell? Why would you do this to us? This is terrible." And Bardolph is just like, "Well, quick, do something. Look, they're just gone berserk over there. What do you do? Stand here with us. Go help them."
Yeah, I guess it's Rush Chapter 2. Lucy's just kind of gonna smirk while saying that and get her shield out. And step forward, probably, just in case the druid does anything drastic. I'm gonna assume it's a druid.
So,
I'm gonna turn to Loris and be like, this is one of your citizens. Shouldn't you be like using your druid magic to calm them down and make sure that nothing bad happens to them, so we don't have to like hurt them?
As brutal as it was, I don't like knocking out people without a good reason.
well, obviously, I don't want to see them hurt, but they've been driven to madness, or something. Like, look at them. There wasn't a willing shapeshift. Like,
Yeah. Listen, I'm real good at like illusions and distractions. Like that's kind of my thing.
Mhm.
So, don't think you're going anywhere, okay?
What? No, we need to get to the bottom of this. We're not going anywhere. And Rodolfo's just like, I want to know what's going on just as much as you do now. This is, I mean, look at them. That tail's gonna hurt somebody.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so guess we gotta knock it out and figure out what happened.
Let's see here. Sorry, we'll get you dropped
Whatever
in.
that thing is. What even is that? Loris?
Oh well, Loris would know. It's one of the creatures that we woke up. It's what's it? It's and Loris kind of gestures down to their foot. It's Ankylosaurus. That's why I'm pointing at my foot. Ankylosaurus. Yeah, that's what it's called. Let me drop you somewhere so you've got a little room to maneuver. Now, Kinley, you are off in the chamber here. If you would like to make a perception check to see if you hear
The screen.
people screaming and fleeing for their lives and come running, or if you're just like obliviously flipping through notes like, man, I hope that apology's going well.
I would say I had to do it at disadvantage because I am heavily searching this place, trying to find anything.
Yeah.
That might be out of the ordinary. So 13.
So yeah, at the distance that you're at and being in the council chambers, which is slightly soundproof to prevent eavesdropping, you're just obliviously flipping through books and notes and trying to see if you can dig up any kind of better dirt on the council than you've already got.
Searching tables, looking for hidden drawers and things like that.
We will pop over here to the three of you. Czar's got a bit of a head start here.
Yeah, I'm completely avoiding the creature in with the crowd. I'm still pursuing those shadowy figures that I saw. That I'm assuming Bardolphus was talking to before this happened. Because coincidences, Bardolphus is doing weird signals to people. These people are talking to each other, and the people that they look weird to begin with and suspicious, and the person they're talking to turns into a fucking lizard monster. Yeah, that's just not a coincidence. So I'm going to pursue them. And I'm going to let our tin can handle this.
I mean, maybe he just has like a trick wrist, tennis elbow. Maybe it is just a coincidence. You don't know.
I don't know how this goes. We may chop his hands off.
Okay,
Oof.
so let's see. You're gonna have to pass. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you could take the long way around.
Yeah, I would be taking the long way around or something. But you want us to roll initiative?
Yeah, go ahead and roll initiative.
Alright. Initiative, where are you at?
I'm good with that.
I forgot to click the fucking thing. I thought I clicked it. Okay. I got a 5. Boo.
Okay. Get everybody on the initiative tracker real quick, and then 19. Twice. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh yeah, you did real nice on that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. No lucky needed that time.
There we go. Descending. So, Czar, you've got the jump on this here because you already had a head start moving through the crowd. So you get to go. You're on first up here.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm running with people and kind of screaming myself, ah, ah, as the crowd is I'm running with them to not set myself apart from anybody else that may be running away from the area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to look suspicious as I go by this person and then stab them in the neck.
Oof.
Okay, well, we'll
Alright.
get around to that here in a minute. Um, so it is the Ankylosaurus's turn.
Oh, hold on. Actually, I can use my action for double movement.
Yes,
I can sprint, so
you can dash, but then you won't have an action when you get there.
5, 6. Correct. There we go. I'm actually going to run past them so they think I'm just like running with all the other people trying to get away.
Okay.
Okay.
Damn.
So then it is now the Ankylosaurus's turn, and it is going to. It's basically just in a frenzy, so it's going to just start swinging its tail at people as they're scattering and fleeing and running past. It's
Oh boy.
not really deliberately attacking anyone just yet. It hasn't locked in on you guys specifically yet, though it is charging forward. It's just sort of it burns its action smacking out at random citizens.
Oh no.
And oof, it nails a few.
Oh no.
Big time. Like you see like 2 or 3 people just kind of go like up into the air a little bit and then go sliding across the dirt, and people are getting thrown, the screaming's getting more panicked, people are really like, oh my god, this thing's really attacking us, oh my god. And then it'll move forward a little bit as it's kind of working through the crowd, smacking out at people and attacking and things like that. It
Bogey.
then hits one of the shadowy figures' turns, and they are going to see if they pick up anything amiss. More than likely, no. No. So as of right now, they're just kind of like monitoring the situation, keeping an eye on the general crowd as everybody's scattering and things like that, and then but they're doing their best to just sort of like blend in without also running away. So Shelly, it is your go.
All right, so unfortunately, I probably. Well. Oh, you said I don't know who, like, if they cast a spell on this guy, like, I don't know who it would be.
Right. Yeah, you don't like you can make a perception check if you want to use your action for that to see if you pick up on them not running away like everyone else is. But that would be your main action for the turn.
I'm very tempted because I have a concentration breaker, but so if it's like something, but instead I see that the Ankylosaurus is basically just wreaking havoc and hurting people and stuff, and I don't really like hurting people, but you know, especially when it's not really their fault. But I will cast cause fear on the Ankylosaurus so that at least it will have disadvantage on its attacks instead of just running rampant. So that is a wisdom save of 12.
Okay, let's see how he does. Rolled a 12 exactly.
Damn it.
Alrighty. And other than that, I will move up a bit and try to usher people away and drawing my spear.
Okay.
Just kind of poke people out of the way, like
Kind
with a
of.
broomstick.
Yeah. So Lucy, you've got your turn now.
Alright, so Zars disappeared. Shelly's ushering people out of the way, so she has no clue where Dolores is. Probably behind her somewhere. So she's gonna stand up and try to get that thing's attention so it'll stop hurting civilians. Kind of like just bang on their shield with her battle axe and be like, hey, over here!
Okay. Considering it's in a frenzy, that's pretty easy to get going once you just make an intimidation check for me just to see how well they lock in on you, but it's gonna be a pretty easy task with how berserk they are.
Oof.
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 Fortunately, yeah, with how berserk they are, any kind of like aggressive action towards them is going to get them to key in on you. So it is successful at getting their attention, just barely. So if anybody else comes at them, they might break off of you, but at least for now, they're like keyed in. So we're around to the other shadowy figure, and we're going to see if they pick up on anything. Roll real high for that, but we'll see if they do. Nope. So they're just monitoring the situation, feeling pretty good about themselves. Like, hey, look, we're doing what we're supposed to do. How about that? And then it's back around to Czar.
All right, as I'm running around screaming, I'm going to run past this guy right here, and when I get behind him, I'm going to pull up my rapier and try and cock him right where the neck meets like the base of the skull, and just try and knock him out cold.
Okay. Go for an attack, non-lethal.
Where's my rapier? There it is.
Okay, that definitely hits. And 12 damage will render them unconscious.
All right, and as soon as he's unconscious, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come over here to this one and try and do the same thing to him.
With your bonus or your
my second attack, yeah.
Second attack.
Yeah, my bonus action attack. And bam!
Okay. You do get a good knock in, but it doesn't knock him out. Comes up just a little, like, is definitely seeing the little birdies, but he's still conscious.
All right, then I will use my action surge to take an additional action.
Okay.
And try and follow it up with another one to finish the job. For another drop.
Yeah, that connects fine. You knock him out.
All right. I'm out of stuff to do on my turn now.
So it is now the Ankylosaurus's turn, and you see it kind of calms down a bit. Lucy, since it's mostly focused on you right now, make a perception check for me real quick.
All right, let's see if I catch any of this. Fuck.
Nope. So it just looks like it's calming down some. And you're not really, like, its tail's still kind of flapping about behind it, but it's not making deliberate swings. It looks more confused than anything. It's just sort of like, well, wait, what the hell am I? Why am I a dinosaur right? What? Like, it's that kind of confused look on its, like, as much emotion as a reptile can show at the moment. It's looking very confuzzled.
Maybe I can make Shelly notice that and be like, hey, maybe you can talk to it now and calm it down.
So that one is unconscious, and it is now Shelly's turn.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not going to attack, then Shelly will probably, like, approach it slowly and be like, you know, you okay there? Like, just sit down if you're okay and don't want to hurt anybody, because that one's kind of bloody. She really likes killing things, so don't attack or else you might die. Just kind of chill, all right?
I like killing things? What?
she's trying to persuade it to calm down.
Okay,
yeah, but
so
Lucy hears that and she's like, what?
Yeah. So, is that what you want to do for your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So Lucy, it's come back around to you. You again, you just see it's looking very confused, very like, what's going on, huh? Like it's somewhat calmed at this point, but it's now looking more it's not agitated, it's nervous because it's like, well, wait, what did I do? And looking around, and you can see there's some people knocked out, scattered around the square, and people are still running in all directions. And he's like, oh, I fucked up, didn't I? Oh
Okay,
shit.
so Lucy will slowly motion and put her hand axe away. Still have her shield up just in case anything happens, and be like, okay, settle down. We can solve this. Can you change back?
Well, Czar will get a turn, and then we'll come back around to the Ankylosaurus, and he can try to unwild shape or something, perhaps.
I'm gonna start tying this guy up and gagging him. That's what I'm gonna use my whole turn for.
Okay. So then it'll cycle back around to the Ankylosaurus, and he will unwild shape and just be like, whoa, no, like very, like, oh shit,
No,
don't
worry.
stab me, don't stab me.
I'm not. She said pretty mean things about me, but I don't hit before talking.
That's not what those 50 commoners in Victoria said.
I had no choice. Plus, I wasn't the one dealing killing blow. It was Keeper Star.
Would we effectively be out of combat now?
Yes, by knocking the
Alright.
two of them out before they got a chance to run away, you broke the whatever was affecting the druid that forced them into the berserk rage, and they were able to kind of shake it off. And
And looking back, do we still see Loris and Bardolphus?
let's find out. You see neither of them standing at the top of the stairs.
Surprise!
They have both skedaddled.
I'm gonna drop my disguise and I'm gonna yell at Lucy and Shelly. Could you come help me, please?
Shelly, stay with this guy. I'll go help.
You go take
Zara.
care of
Make
that.
sure this guy is all right.
Yeah.
That's quite the shock. Lucy's gonna just put back her shield and run over and go help Zara with.
Yeah, tie him up. I'm almost done with this, and make sure you gag him too.
What's your
As soon as I knocked
fascination
him
with
out, that
gagging?
dinosaur man calmed down, so they're behind this. And I'm pretty sure this is who Bardolphus was talking to, according to what Shelly was saying.
Yeah, but that means Bardolphus is part of something?
Would you really be surprised at this point?
Well, with how he tried to hide that journal, not really. She says that she ties the dude up and gags him, making another comment about Czar gagging, wanting to gag people.
If they're gagged, they can't use verbal components for spells. It's spell thieving 101.
Fair enough, but that's still weird.
It's a fetish. It's not a fetish.
It may be a fetish.
Shelley, meanwhile, is talking to the previous dinosaur, seeing if they're okay first. And after making sure that they're okay and understand that they're not going to be held responsible for what they did, see if they can tell us anything about what they were saying to the person, or if they remember anything odd about what happened.
Okay, let's see how much they registered before they went berserk. Not a whole lot. They just started, it was just idle chit chat. Hi, how you doing? Pretty crazy. Look at the council members getting paraded out front. Everything seemed fine. And then like the chit chat just sort of faded out to some kind of gibberish, and then everything just kind of blurs out after that. And then the next thing I know, I'm wild shaped and like apparently attacking everyone, and I don't know what happened between those two things. It's just all just blind anger is all I've got. And it's kind of like, but Did you see what I turned into? That sure was weird. I don't know where that came from. That didn't look like any kind of wild shape I've ever done before.
Uh-huh. Come with me. I'm gonna bring him back to where Czar and Lucy are and ask if he recognizes either of the two figures.
I mean,
Like if he's seen them before today. If they're members of the Druidic Alliance around here.
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe in passing on the street. We get a lot of travelers. It's the capital, people come and go a lot, and
Okay, last question. Are you actually a druid? Like, can you heal people?
a little, not it's not really my specialty. I mostly do the animal thing. But I
Okay,
can do a
well,
little bit.
There's some people around here that are kind of hurt, and it's not really your fault, but we have to take care of this stuff, so if you can either help them or find somebody else who can and get them not hurting from the giant hammer you had on your tail, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that they're dispatching clerics from the temple to come help too. But I'll jump on it for sure.
Okay. But don't leave town. We might have more questions for you. I always wanted to say that. And I'll go see if Lucy and Czar need help.
Kyle. Kyle.
Wow,
Kyle.
he really did.
Oh shit.
Hold on. I'll call him. Maybe his phone. Will.
I've never seen anyone do that before.
Quick, poke him.
He's fine. Well, shit, he says, I've really wanted to say that before. She's just laugh like, you're a cute one.
I didn't realize I was so uninteresting. I feel bad now.
I
Aw.
think he's just really tired from the trips and stuff.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, we've all been there. I was watching and I assumed that he was just messing with me because we cut away from him for a while to deal with you guys, and then I realized I think he actually fell asleep in his chair. Oh my god!
He'll wake up. He'll wake up eventually.
He's gonna wake up when he gets shot by somebody in Victoria. That'll wake him up.
Yep.
Oh.
No, I'm not mean enough to do that to somebody. But was gonna try to cut back to something a little more to some more information. Give him some lore drop, but we'll let him nap.
Yeah, he'll be back.
So Kinley, we'll jump back over to you. I'm assuming you guys are gonna pack this up and bring it back inside.
Yes. Czar wants to interrogate some people.
Okay.
This should be fun.
I
I'll
guess
carry
the
one
other
of them.
two didn't run back in here.
No, they've skedaddled elsewhere. They didn't run back inside.
All right.
Somehow the wizard has the highest strength score out of the group, so I'll carry one of them.
I had really bad rolls, okay?
Like 3 of us have a 13 in strength, and that's the highest strength in our group. It's like, what?
We're
I had really bad rolls.
I'm a finesse fighter. I'm not a strength fighter.
Yeah. It's good that your ability to negotiate your way out of fights is quite strong, because otherwise you might be struggling a little.
I was just gonna drag one. I mean, that's
no
my
dragging.
way.
As soon as Lucy sees you start to drag him, she's gonna be like, nah, and pull him off. You need to interrogate him, so you need him to wake up fast. So.
No, I'm sure he would have woke up when he was being dragged up the stairs. I'm just gonna give you kind of like a half grin.
You're mean.
Are you letting the unfortunate ankylosaur stay behind, or are you dragging him with you too?
Do we need them for anything? Because I'm pretty sure these were the ones behind it.
No, I sent him
Involved
on the
office.
recovery task to make sure everybody's okay.
All right. Yeah,
Fair
there's no
enough.
need to punish someone if it wasn't their fault.
Okay, so you've come back inside. I'm assuming you've given a holler for Kinley at this point.
Kinley!
Did I find anything else at all?
Make one more investigation check for me.
All right.
We'll see if you do turn up anything special.
Ooh.
Let's see. Lucy has Bardolphus's personal notes journal thing already.
Yes.
You've gone through. You can see, in some of the like treasury tax documentation that it looks like there may have been some slush funding going on a little bit. Bardolphus's math doesn't quite match up with the coffers.
So someone's skimming.
Yeah, and it may have been him, since his math and the math that's there doesn't quite sync up properly. But it's not 100%. Like whether it was going in his personal pockets or if he was diverting it to something else, that's not notated. You just know money was moving where it wasn't supposed to.
Okay, well I will take the ledgers.
Yeah,
And good
if
morning,
you-
Kyle.
Yeah. If you cross-reference it with other stuff that you found and maybe some stuff that Finnegan's dug up in Victoria, it may give you some
I'm gonna
some
grab
dots.
any financial related stuff. I'm going to grab. See if there might be like 2 sets of books in here somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll throw them in my bag. And unless
So
somebody calls me out, I'm still gonna be
Oh,
in there looking.
we're calling you out. Zara's
Yeah,
like,
they're-
Princess, where are you?
They're giving a holler for you.
You're like,
Well,
Kinley!
I'm obviously ignoring Czar, so.
Lucy says Kinley.
All right, so I'm gonna make my way back out to join everybody. I see a couple bodies laying on the floor.
2.
What?
Yeah,
I haven't been
that's what
gone that long.
Well, apparently, Shelly caught Bardolphus doing some kind of hand signals to someone, and I saw these two in the back talking to someone, looking all shady. And then the person they were talking to turned into a dinosaur and started whacking people. So I blended in with the crowd and knocked them out while Lucy and Shelly calmed down the dinosaur person until they changed back to their normal form. And lo and behold, Bardolphus and Druid Chick are nowhere to be found now.
Man.
Great.
It's Loris.
Ah, yes. And Zara's gonna reach down and let's see. This one right here. Just gonna reach down. No, I think we should wake this one up. He's gonna reach down and just break his index finger.
Oh,
Ooh.
did you really have to do that?
Yes.
That's not. No.
Ow. I feel like that's karma. Which we'll discuss that when we take a break here in a minute.
Okay.
But there's some karma to that. Make a medicine check for me. I want to judge how cleanly you broke this finger.
All right.
Jeez.
I mean,
We're
Zara's
getting-
just going about, how he learned to do things on the street. So, I tell you, that's a 17. That's a pretty clean break.
Yeah, that feels like something that you'd be able to set back when you're done. You haven't like permanently ruined this guy's finger, but he's given a good howl. He's wide awake and feeling every bit of that broken finger.
All right, well, we'll just roll him over onto his back and look down at him. I'll put my foot on his chest. Good morning.
Hi.
So, I'm gonna reach down and, Lucy, if he starts chanting anything in some weird language, stab him.
Oh.
Better yet, Kinley. If he starts trying to cast a spell, stab him. And I'll undo his gag.
Lucy's
Okay.
not with that. Not okay with that. But she's not gonna say anything. but she doesn't look pleased.
So, tell me, how's your day been?
Feel like it's been better.
Yeah, ours was going pretty well until you and your friend over there did something to that poor druid out there and had them turn into a dinosaur. And you've got 9 more fingers, so every time you lie to me, I'm going to break one.
It's definitely kind of giving the fingers a wiggle and just. I don't know what you're talking about. I was just standing there watching the chaos, and I all of
Pinky
a
is
sudden
next.
was unconscious. And
The Pinky is next.
okay, just when you want to break something, just roll a medicine check, and we'll see how cleanly you break it.
All right. Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, that Pinky might have a little bit of a permanent kink in it when you're all said and done, unless you bother to actually properly heal him.
I may not be able to heal that.
8 left. Then you've got 10 toes.
Can I do did I notice his hand gestures well enough to be able to make an illusion of Bardolphus making the gestures so that we can be like, what was he saying?
What was the roll on that? I think it was like an 18.
Yeah.
18 strong enough that you can at least get in the ballpark. He was being pretty repetitious. So you can get pretty close.
So I'll use minor illusion to go ahead and do that. So what was he trying to tell you? Or what was he telling you, I guess, because he wasn't trying anymore. He just did it. Not try to.
Hand gestures. I mean, I was way at the back. I could barely see you guys. We were just kind of got idle chit chat about how crazy it was that you were marching the council out front to like give a speech and things, and then the guy next to me just went like berserk and started like flailing about, and then I backpedaled, and then I was unconscious. I don't know why you got me dragged in here like this. This all seems very, very excessive.
Before Czar does anything else, Lucy will tap on the guy's shoulder and be like, listen, you have 8 fingers, 10 toes. If you keep this up, I may not be able to put you all back. I may be a paladin, but there's limits in my abilities.
And as she's saying this, I'm already like grabbing onto his middle finger and pulling on it a little bit. Like, should I go to the left or to the right with this one, or up and down? And I'm definitely trying to intimidate him.
You can make an intimidation check if you're trying to really like lean on the threat.
Oh yeah. 16.
Am I helping him technically?
Yeah, but he doesn't need to roll for advantage. The guy realizes that you're gonna keep going, and just kind of like, okay. I would like to be able to play piano when this is done.
Don't worry, you'll be able to. That's good because I never could before.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I like that. Stefan came out front, told everybody to calm down, that everything was fine, that the keepers were getting ready to march Bardolphus out front to give a speech. And then Bardolphus came out front and he started giving us the high sign. He needed a distraction. He needed a way to get away from you guys. And this guy, not me, I was just, not supervising. I was like
Guarding.
look out, just like spotter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that he did the magic bit and like berserked the guy. Just picked a dude out of the crowd, just berserked him, and then we didn't know what he was gonna turn into. He turned into one of them friggin' dinosaur things that the druids are screwing with. I didn't see that. I thought he was gonna turn into like a bear or something. Like that was crazy. I didn't. That was
So it was all his fault, and I pointed at the other guy.
yeah, 100%. If you wake him up, he'll totally confirm that. Well, he might deny it, but
All
You'll
right.
show him
his,
your
I'll-
hand,
his denial is just him lying. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth.
I'll move over and I'll break that guy's finger. So let me roll medicine check.
Ah.
There's so many other ways to wake a person up.
Yeah, but that's our.
Yeah,
So
I think at this point Shelly's going to just kind of excuse themselves and go outside and send Meryl around looking for Bardolphus or Loris, see if she can spot them from the air. But I'm gonna let them do their thing. 'cause
That's not
Shelly's
Shelly.
squeamish.
okay. That's weird. Why are they doing that? My mouse wheel went berserky. So he wakes up. His finger may or may not be at 100% when this is all said and done.
Oh.
At least you didn't bomb it and snap the thing off or something.
Oh God.
That would have been real nasty.
Even Czar would have felt bad then.
Yeah. But fortunately, you rolled high-ish, so he's kind of bugging out a little bit, kind of squirming a bit because his fingers all mangled up, and is just like, what the? Who the hell taught you to wake somebody up like that? What the hell is it? Very just feigning confusion and what the hell is who did you and what is this and why you were up there and now we're in here.
Shut up.
I remove his gag so we can understand what he's saying.
Yeah, it was all mumbled.
So your friend there said Bardolphus gave you the high sign, and you're the one that cast the spell that turned the druid berserk.
What druid?
Just tell the truth, and he won't break any more fingers.
I think that one's a clean break.
Ah.
So that's now a second finger on a second person.
That's 4 fingers total on a total of.
We're at 20% breakage. So that's real nice. And the guy, the other one next to him is gonna kind of elbow him and kind of show his hand and his broken fingers and be like, just tell him, man, like this is what's coming. And it'd be like, what did he tell you before you broke my fingers?
So why don't you just tell me what happened, and I'll compare the two stories, and the one that I believe won't get their fingers broken anymore.
And he'll turn and look at the guy sitting next to him and kind of stare at him for a minute. They're like, my story is the same as his story, except in my version of the story, he's the one who made the druid go berserk.
Oh no.
Because I get the feeling that he tried to throw me under the wagon wheel, and that is a load of bull crap. I'm telling you, I'm not taking the rap for this. We tried to do Bardolphus a favor, and I mean, look at me.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like-
gonna be in a pretty
Yes.
worse state if we don't figure out which of you two did
actually,
it, because he's gonna get pretty
You know, they're gonna rot away in a prison until a more experienced keeper comes, and I'm pretty sure their sole fingers are gonna be the least of their worries then.
Ah, yes.
I'm gonna start searching them.
Okay. You rifle through their personage. They've got a little bit of coin on them each, just standard pocket change, walking around, money,
Okay.
something to buy lunch with. Not a whole lot else, key to their cottage or house or whatever it looks like it might be. And then let's see. On one of them, you find a pendant. It looks a bit like a religious symbol, like the kind that Lucy wears, but you don't recognize the iconography at first glance.
All right, I'll yank it off of their neck and Lucy, what is this? And I'll toss it to her.
She's gonna grab it and inspect it. What do I roll? Religion?
Yeah,
Or-
you can make a religion check on that.
Don't fuck me over. Fuck
Oh.
hell. No, I got bad rolls tonight. That sucks.
So,
Doesn't ring any bells so far.
yeah, with that low of a check, it looks like some kind of religious iconography, but you can't really nail down what. It just looks like something that a religion would hand out to somebody.
So what does it actually look like?
It's a silver pendant. It looks are you gonna inspect it a bit, get a closer look at it, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would take a look at it.
okay.
She'd show it off when she can't decipher it. She'd show it off to Kinley, and since Shelly's not there, just Kinley. Be like, I can't really tell what that is.
So make a just a straight wisdom check for me.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Better than my 5.
So you're looking at it. It's a silver pendant. It looks like a skull shape. It's a little it's humanoid-ish, but not quite. You can't really nail down what, but it has a pair of horns, and the horns look similar to the ones that were incorporated in the maker's mark on the side of the guns that you've collected. Not identical, but there's enough you're picking up enough similarities that they feel like the same craft person may have designed them both, just because of the similarities in the art style.
So while they're looking over the pendant, I want to be watching the guy that I pulled it off of to try and notice if he looks more nervous as they're looking over it, or nonchalant, or his basic demeanor. I mean, I know he's in pain. I broke 2 of his fingers, but
Your butt.
He's make an insight check
all
to
right.
see if you can pick up anything through the pain, wincing, and fidgeting and whatnot.
All right.
Now it looks like he's mostly just pissed about you breaking his fingers. As far as you rifling through his clothes, picking his pockets, stealing his family heirloom necklace. You're getting a lot of that kind of scorn, but that's it. Is all you're really picking up from him.
So do you guys know what that is?
Well, can't say I know what it is, but the markings are very similar to the ones we've saw on the guns.
Oh, really?
Oh, are they? And I look back at the guy. Do you care to explain what that is and what it means? And remember, you've still got 8 fingers.
It's just an old family heirloom. I've had it since I was a kid.
What's on it?
An old family
Does it
heirloom
look that
he
old?
has just had
Yeah,
since he was
it's aged
Okay.
a good amount. It's
What?
yeah, it's just grandma and grandpa practiced some kind of old folk medicine thing, and it was supposed to be a good luck charm. I don't.
You might want to, return to sender.
I did roll another medicine check.
Okay.
Why? Poor dude.
So He's now three fingers deep, and he's just like, "What the hell? I told you what it was. Did you just break it? Are you just doing it for fun now? What are you doing?"
Oh no.
I mean, I just find it hard to believe that that symbol around your neck, which Kinley here has so pointed out is on the weapons that has been used to kill keepers recently, is more than just a coincidence. Now, I think you know a little bit more about it than what you're telling me, and you've still got 7 fingers and 10 toes, so I've got all night.
Quite literally. Lucy's just gonna mutter that.
And that will be me trying to intimidate him further, to try and get more details out of him.
Okay. You can roll another intimidation check.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
There's
So
my good rolls at.
he's pretty well and proper scared of you at this point. You know, 3 fingers broken, 2 on his friend, and threats flying fast and loose. He's soiling, or on the verge of it. He's really just spooked bad, but he's sticking to his story. It's I've had it since I was a kid. Given to me by my family. It's an heirloom. It's a trinket. It's
Do you
just-
know anybody else that carries those heirlooms and trinkets? Like maybe Ardolphus? Or whatever the druid's name is, I keep forgetting her name.
Loris.
Or Loris? Your friend here, his family.
Well, I mean, he didn't have one. So
I just flirt with, like, just grab one of his fingers and start wiggling it just a little bit, like I'm considering.
like I don't Bardolphus is like friendly, you know, with a few of the other like noble families and stuff in town, but like it doesn't consort with me. I'm just the dude. I'm just a guy. Like I don't
So
know
you're
what
saying you know some noble families that use that symbol. Is that what you're saying?
it's like an old local custom thing. I don't like the old some of the elderly folks still kind of have it about their houses and stuff, but like you know, I just wear it to make, you know, grandma happy. I don't, you know, like
All right. Kinley, Lucy, do either of you have any questions? And I'll just keep a hold of his finger just for now.
Lucy's gonna point out. Kinley, oh no, you said Kinley.
Said you too.
Hella confused.
yeah, either of you.
I just got confused myself. Not really. I guess we just have to go investigate the old folks about town if you really feel like it.
I really don't want to break any old people's fingers. Kinley?
Oh, he's probably broken enough fingers for now.
All right, Lucy, can you take care of the fingers?
If I were to use like points of my whatever that's called.
Lay on hands.
Yeah, how many points would it be to restore their fingers to hand abilities?
Considering the checks were all pretty high, I'm gonna say just a point each will get their fingers pretty well back to normal.
So so that's 5 points of my lay on hands.
All right. Now, Lucy's going to be kind enough to fix your
Oh
fingers.
no, not per finger, just one point per person, so 2 points total.
Oh, okay, cool.
Lucy's going to be kind enough to fix these fingers. And then we're going to find out what dark hole we can throw you in.
Lucy's gonna sigh, put her hands on either their, well, kind of gently take their armed hands and lay on hands on them to restore their fingers.
I want to watch their fingers like snap back into place. That's gonna be cool looking.
Yeah. So, as their fingers kind of, you know, reset the joints, sort themselves out, and some of the stretched out tendons unstretch and all that fun, overly descriptive stuff. You feel the ground quake a bit, like not really substantial, but there's like a solid tremor of an earthquake billows through the room. You hear some of the stone kind of like rubbing against the mortar of itself, and some of the statues that are holding up the ceiling kind of creak a little bit, but it's not substantial. It's just a little quake.
What was that?
What did they fucking wild shape into this time? Is gonna be my thought. Like there's a giant lizard walking through town or something.
Can't be good.
Oh,
with
that
whatever's
would have
going
been
on.
that would have been a good red herring to just have like a brontosaurus stomp in through the wall.
Yeah.
Oh god. That would have been really good. I should have thought of that yesterday.
I had that nightmare as a 10-year-old after Jurassic Park came out.
They should be fine. Brontosauruses are herbivores.
Yeah. You still don't
Doesn't
want to
stop
get
'em
you
from
still don't want to get
stepping
stepped on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that first quake, we're gonna cut back over to Finnegan real quick. So Finnegan, you are in Victoria still, doing your various investigations and inquiries and things of that sort. You've been trying to consolidate information to relay to the group when you finally meet back up and all that fun stuff. When you feel a very slight version of the earthquake that they just felt. You're
More or less?
less.
Less, so it's further
So
away.
yeah, so they got a decent, like a solid quake feel, and you just got like a rumble, like the one in Virginia a few years ago, where it's just a picture of the one plastic chair that fell over, and there's
Oh.
earthquake 2008. It's that kind of like real subtle, but because you're a druid and you're fairly in tune with nature, you get that vibe of like, oh, did anyone else just feel the ground move?
Yeah.
I'm the a physical embodiment of a walking cup of water. It's never good to be able to feel earthquakes. Ever. I don't know. Anytime you're like, God damn, I'm so glad there's earthquakes happening. Finnegan's gonna assume that it's probably. He's going to jump to a conclusion that he thinks it possibly could be gunpowder related. It's either excavating certain areas or trying to open areas up that don't supposed to be opened.
Mm-hmm.
So, Finnegan is probably going to ask Shamilka, Shamilka, I believe is her name. Yeah.
Yeah, Samelka.
I'm gonna ask her if she knows any good lookouts that are further inland, to where I could possibly get a surveil of what could be going on a broader scale inland.
I mean, there's the couple of guard towers that we've got built here near the gap in the mountain, but beyond that, it's very just sort of flat swamp for just a good chunk of miles. There isn't really like a high ground vantage point for you to get unless you want to try climbing those bad boys. And she points to the mountain that just disappears above the cloud cover. And you're just like,
Thought about it. Seems like way too much work.
if only you had a flight speed wild shape.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So yeah, so like we've got the guard towers on either side of the gap in the mountain that's carved out. That'll let you see a bit, but it's not going to get you a real good vantage beyond the first couple miles of swamp.
Okay. I probably will just relay to her that I have felt a disturbance in nature that relating, and I'm just gonna let her know that I assume that it has to do with possibly more explosions, to where it has caused reverberations through the ground to where I'm able to feel it.
Okay. She's like, is it something that we need to be worried about? I mean, the city's attacked. There's no smoke, no fire, no panic, no screaming. She's looking out her window trying to see if she spots any new explosions or new fires or anything like that. She's like, the city looks fine. You picked up something from on the island somewhere?
Yes, I believe there could be more chaos ensuing further inland. It started here and might be moving further inland.
Um, well, I could dispatch some scouts. I could dispatch some scouts with you if you prefer. We could send a couple of a couple of horses, or if you want to be your
Eh,
own horse. I don't. I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know
are
how
you
you feel about that
are you
thing.
trying to ride me? I'm confused with this statement here.
No, I'm staying behind. I'm just
Okay.
like, I didn't know if you wanted to like be your own thing, or if you wanted to borrow a horse, or like, I don't want to be judgy. Druids can
Um,
be weird about that sort of thing.
I was wondering if you could possibly send a couple scouts towards the Valley of Inspiration, and I believe I'm going personally to head towards Forge Hearth and check out, just scope out those areas. Not necessarily get too involved, but see if there is any chaos or mayhem heading that direction. Because I believe that we have a couple persons of interests last known in those areas, and I think getting eyes on what might be best ahead of time than responding to aftermath again.
Sure. Yeah, I can do that for you. Um, just to give you an idea of how this is real rough. I'm gonna try to get a nicer looking version of this map for you guys, but this is the map of the whole island here. Can you all see this now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Ooh.
So this is the general sort of layout of the island here, completely encircled by that huge giant mountain range. There's the Druidic Alliance in here in green. This is all their sort of controlled territory. The Valley of Inspiration, Forge Hearth, and then all this area up here is Fantalusia. There's all those little X's are different sort of like towns and villages, places of interest, things of that sort. Couple of mountains marked on there for you. It's rough at this stage, some bodies of water and stuff. There's a lot of small rivers and things that work their way through the wetlands that aren't on here because it's zoomed out real far. But there's a lot of rivers and streams and things like that in the mix. So that's just kind of your general gist. From end to end, it's a couple hundred miles, so it's big. This is a big island. So to get to the Valley of Inspiration and Forge Hearth, you're looking at like a couple days travel to get in there.
Done. Do it. Let's go.
Okay.
I
So
feel I feel like myself in a further deeper sense would be able to maneuver better than a group of people, so I'll probably head towards uh, Forge Earth.
okay. If your if your friends come back, I'll be sure to let them know that that's where you went. Um, or do you want to? I don't know if you guys figured out a way to send each other messages yet. Like, you
Not quite.
feel like that would have been kind of important.
Worst case scenario, I can always just send a flare in the sky.
Okay. Well, like I said, when I don't know what they're if they come back, I'll let them know where you went. But aside from that, I wish you the best of luck and safe
Also,
travels.
there should be more field keepers or candidates showing up in the next coming days. Good luck.
Including a grandmaster.
I mean, also, someone's grandfather's coming. You know, the princess that was here. He's a grandmaster.
Bella Fiore.
Let him know I'm not dead, and good luck, because I'm not looking forward to dealing with him, much less even seeing you having to deal with him. Good luck, and just heads out the door.
Okay. As you head down the stairs from her third floor office towards the lobby to head out into the island, you feel another tremor. It's a little bit stronger than the one that you just barely sensed. It's still fairly weak for you out in Victoria, but you pick up just a subtle vibe, and you once you get out the door onto the beach, leading up from uh, shit. once
There.
once you get out into there, you hear Smelka yell out her window, "Did you feel that? Is that what you felt?" It was enough for her to pick it up this time.
Yeah, that's the second one, and this one's bigger.
That's probably bad, right?
Well, I mean, we hope not. We always hope not. You better send your scouts to Valley of Inspiration with haste.
Yeah. And so she's gonna close the window, and like you can hear through the pane her like screaming for her personal assistant to get their butt in gear. And you can move onto the island at your leisure or with haste, however you prefer.
Definitely with haste.
Yeah. So you've moved on to the island. Meanwhile, back in the kingdom here, that second earthquake, you guys have felt more. It's stronger than the first. Um, it's not, toppling buildings or anything where you're at, but it's a significant step up from the first one. So you've got two earthquakes of increasing intensity, and we are going to take just a 10-minute break right there,
All right.
and then we'll resume with, oh dear God, the ground is shaking.
Oh lordy.
Oh God, the ground's falling on our head. The ground is falling on our. What?
Yeah, the earth opens, everyone dies.
No.
That's
yeah.
that was the treasure room that she was talking about.
Sorry, guys. I broke some fingers, and it ended up the karma is breaking the world. I'm sorry.
Ah.
Holy shit! Is that
You're
real,
gonna get
Kim?
the talk down of the century again.
Is this the karma you were talking about, Kim?
No, this
Oh.
is that would be coincidental at best.
Terrifying.
Yeah. We're back.
All right, so we are taking a break. See y'all back shortly.
Your mama.
Yo, mama.
Yeah, I got one.
So
are back. Welcome
Oh,
back,
perfection.
everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
What's
So,
up?
so like with the ground and stuff shaking again, Zara's gonna look at. What are we gonna do with these two? We don't have any council members or anything here to know where to put them.
How about
I
we
don't
just
want to let
lock
them
in the
go.
council room? The
Are
council
there
room?
windows in the council room?
In the like private chamber, no.
I can do-
There's windows in this bit that you're in now, but the side chamber that they meet privately in is solid.
All right. Well, let's go in there and tie
What
them
about
to tie them to some chairs, and we'll come back for them later. If the building doesn't collapse and fall down on them, I'm like staring right at the dude as I'm saying this. Well, we go figure out what's going on since they don't know anything.
You should also lock the door from the inside so no one can get in.
Any objections?
Kinda.
I got nothing else to do
but
with
I
them.
guess it doesn't matter.
All right. So we'll go tie them up in the council room and make sure they're regagged so they can't cast any spells to get out.
Yeah. As you go to pick them up, they're like, "Do we get a vote?
No. Sad.
Can I object?"
I'll tell you what. I'll give you one objection for every finger that will not be healed when I'm done with it.
You know,
Oh,
I could sitting in it tied up in a chair sounds good. I like that plan. I'm happy to be a part of it.
hey, Zara, we need to talk about that breaking finger after that.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
All right, let's get them tied up.
No, we don't.
yeah, we do.
Kinley, do you want to see if you can go find Shelley while Lucy and I get them tied up in the council room?
I guess, where did she go?
Out.
Out
She didn't
front.
like the breaking fingers part, I assume.
She wasn't a fan of my interrogation methods.
Alright, I'll go out and try and find her.
Alright, so restricted and gagged.
Zar
So-
will remember Kinley is the only person in the party that did not have a problem with him breaking fingers.
She's neutral good. You do whatever's required. As long as it's, against evil.
So Shelly, when they walked out of the room, kind of took a minute to, just take a deep breath, and went over to a tree nearby, sat down underneath it, used minor illusion to make it look like a big boulder sitting at the bottom of the tree, and then curled into their shell and looked through Meryl's eyes and just sent her around looking for anything, particularly Bardolphus or Loris, but anything of interest. But once the earthquakes happen, because I can't see or hear through my own senses, and I can't feel through Meryl's, but I can feel through my own body. And so being on the ground, I would have felt the tremors.
Mhm.
So I would have gone ahead and called her back and gotten out of the boulder and went back inside. So I probably ran into Kinley as she was coming out.
Okay. Make a perception check for Meryl's little bit of recap time that you got in there before the earthquake started.
Do it good.
Good. Oh.
So Meryl doesn't pick up anything of particular interest to you. Nothing really jumps out as overly noteworthy. There's a lot of people kind of moving about. There's a little bit more chaos to the city's vibrance than normal, just because of everyone scrambling and the news of the event that just happened out front traveling throughout the town, and people are gossiping and running around and getting all nervous and things like that. But nothing really jumps out at you to really like lock in on.
So when I bump into Kinley on the way back and be like, "Whoa, did you guys feel that? The earth was like, whoa."
Yep, definitely felt that. Twice.
All right. Do we know what it is? Are they done breaking fingers in there? Because that wasn't really fun.
I think they are.
Okay. Are they like still alive? Do we need jellyfish goo?
They were alive when I came out here.
Okay. You feel a third quake at this point.
All right. After getting them tied up, and gagged, I'm just scribble a quick note, and kind of just be like, leave them here by order of the keepers, and just kind of like stick it on the door on our way out.
On the way out, Lucy. Once the doors close, Lucy's gonna be like, "Listen, no more breaking fingers unless absolutely necessary, okay?"
It was absolutely necessary. They weren't going to tell
No,
us anything.
there probably was other ways, and I didn't like it, so let's not do it again.
Well, I'm sorry you don't like it, Lucy, but you know, I do what has to be done.
I'm pretty sure there's other ways.
Really? Do you have a way to compel them to speak to you that
Maybe.
I'm unaware of?
Maybe.
Oh, really? What is it? And we're having this conversation walking back toward Shelly and Kinley.
Mm-hmm.
Some way.
That's what
By
I thought.
being nice to them? I
Yes,
don't want...
because...
Look, find something else than breaking fingers. That's gnarly. And
Look,
that can get messy.
Look, when I got recruited to the Keepers, I got recruited because they needed someone that knew how to get things done in a particular way. That's the whole reason they pulled me out of that cell and sent me into training. So until someone tells me otherwise, that's how I'm going to keep doing it. Because that's what they wanted me for. Somebody to make the decisions to break someone's finger if,
Yeah,
you
but
know, an
Shelley
entire
doesn't.
kingdom is at risk.
How about Shelly? Look, she doesn't really enjoy that. Huh?
I'm sorry, Shelly, if it upsets you, because we're, like, walking up to you now. I'm sorry, Shelly, if it upsets you, but we had to get information out of them, and we don't have any time. And as soon as Bardolphus vanished, the ground starts shaking.
Yeah,
We don't
about
have
that.
time to play around. Though I don't know what we're going to do, because...
Where's
what
that
could
even
cause
coming
the ground
from?
to shake? Exactly. The only thing I can think of is the person that I followed the other night disappeared somewhere around that derelict shrine. I was wanting to go back and check it out, but all of this happened. That's the only lead I have.
That's the only lead we have, unless anybody else has lead.
I don't think we have anything else.
Is there any way that we could have told, like, what direction the shaking was coming from?
If you make a nature check or a survival check to try to see if you can, like, considering there's been 3 of them now and they've gotten progressively stronger, you've got more to work with.
Yeah, not me.
Let me try. Survival's higher. Fuck me.
Oh, do I want to use my lucky to re-roll that? How many points do I have left? I think I only have 1 left.
You've got 2 left, I think.
Oh, okay, then I will re-roll it. You're right, I just looked at my thing. Alright. Oh, God. Alright, do me good, Lucky! That's still better,
Slightly
but...
better.
Yeah. Shit.
Okay. So, Shelly, since you were curled up in your shell, which for the first 2 earthquakes, it acted a little bit like a tuning fork for you. So with the strength of the 3rd earthquake tacked on top of it, you pick up that it seems to be coming from east of you, maybe vaguely centered around the tree.
Oh, so it's like local.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll let them know that I think we might want to go to the tree.
Well,
'Cause
that's where that shrine is.
Is it? Well, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, let's get over there then.
Alright.
And I'll send Meryl with it.
So we make our way over to the tree.
Okay.
Where
So
the shrine is, anyway.
out of the council chamber, over a couple of bridges, some waterways, things of that sort. It takes you a few minutes to make the trip, even if you're booking it. The shrine was over here on the north end of the island / the north
Yes.
side of the tree. So you make your way around to there. Let's see.
Yeah, it was right around here where that person disappeared.
And so just the 3 earthquakes so far. And you come up to the shrine, and it just looks like a dilapidated shrine at the base of this ungodly massive tree.
Are there
Can we
any
tell
symbols
anything?
or anything?
Yeah. Is there anything else we can tell about the shrine?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation check. I suck at that.
I'm just gonna go start searching around the shrine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lucy's gonna investigate around the shrine and look inside too, possibly. What are those rolls?
You are having a rough night tonight, Lucy. These
Very.
rolls are killing you.
At least
So
I'm at attack they're high.
Shelly, your investigation's real solid. Zar, yours is pretty well up there too. So you're investigating the shrine and getting in there. That you see a lot of just sort of like old nature iconography, a lot of animal and plant symbols, and like a lot of elaborate vine carvings that look like there's pillars that have vines carved into them, and it's very ornate and elaborate and things like that. But the place is very dilapidated. It hasn't been actively upkept in a long time from the looks of things. It looks like whatever sort of religious practice was tied to this shrine has largely fallen by the wayside or died off. You can't be 100% sure when, but it's definitely been a long time since somebody actively maintained this shrine. Let's see. Shelly, go ahead and make a perception check at advantage for me, because that investigation check is super high.
Oh.
Listen.
Okay. So, you're investigating around the shrine. Zara's investigating around the shrine. You're finding all this iconography, a lot of old symbology, things like that. You notice that there's like a second layer of engravings under the first layer of engravings, weirdly. But it's aged to the point where you can't really make out exactly what the details are. It looks vaguely familiar, though, like embossing that you've seen in some other place, but you're not really some other kind of shrine or temple or something, but you can't really nail down where off the top of your head. And then let's see what else is going on here. A lot of hard rolls. You guys are not having a lot of success here. But that's real bad. Good for you. That was good for you. So because you have been specializing in illusion spells, you pick up sort of the hallmarks of your trade, so to speak. Not in the shrine itself, but off to the side next to it. The wood on the bark of the tree just looks a bit off, like somebody's playing games.
All right. Well, the first thing I would do is try to touch it.
Your hand goes right through.
Hey.
She sees that and her eyes go wide. What?
And then stick my head in it.
It is pitch dark on the inside. Well,
No. Let me. Yeah, it's very, very faintly lit. It's not pitch black, but it's just this side of pitch black.
All right, I'll pull my head back out. I'm gonna take out a coin, cast light on it, hold it in my hand, and be like, "Guys, I think there's like a tunnel that goes through the tree. We should go see what's inside of here. Unless you want, if you want, I can do that detect magic thingy so that we're not surprised. But I'm kind of getting tired, and I'm not sure how many more spells I really have in me. So it's either like wait 10 minutes to do it now, and not have any other spells, or like we can just go."
I'll go first, then possibly to make
Do you want the light?
use of it. I can make my own and I can see in the dark, but that's very sweet of you.
Well, I can't see in the dark, so like I need the light.
You need the light? You can keep the light.
Okay.
Well, while they're discussing this, Zar's gonna look around because he's still kind of hanging around inside the shrine. He hadn't went outside yet. He's gonna look around, and when he's sure nobody's like paying attention to him, he's gonna frown a little bit, and he's gonna take out a gold coin, and he's gonna put it down in the shrine, and he's gonna say, I've never been one for gods and all of that, but nobody should be forgotten. And he'll leave the coin and make his way out.
Oh.
I like
Just
that.
who he is.
That was unexpected. I like it. So you do that. When you come back out of the shrine, you've got Shelly rambling on about there's some kind of illusion thingy going on here, and she's giving you the 411.
Let's go.
Alright.
Yep.
Draw my rapiers.
Alright, Lucy will go first. Enter first.
I will follow behind Lucy, because Lord knows the tin can always gets in trouble.
Oh, shut it.
Okay. Lucy, since you're the first one through, make a Dex saving throw for me.
Christ. Dex saving throw.
Glad that wasn't my face.
Oh, why did that roll twice?
It's fine. So you step through, and instead of like your foot keeps going down past where you expected it to touch ground, so you just kind of like stumble a bit through as you pass through the illusion, because it's on a decline.
Okay.
So you were expecting your foot to find ground, and it just kept going a little bit, so you do that bit of like a, oh hey, there's a step there.
Alright, so she's gonna raise her arm and be like, hey, it's going down. Just, y'all be mindful.
Just be quiet.
She's not talking that loud. But then she's gonna start marching down carefully.
Shelly has a shell to cover their back, so I'll go last, and I'm gonna like put my hand around the coin so that the light can just shine out like directional.
Okay.
So you're looking vaguely that kind of formation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you descend on a downward slope for a decent chunk of distance. Like it's probably like 150 feet on this decently sharp decline. Like you're going pretty deep, but it's just a straight rough-hewn tunnel. It's dirt walls. There's some shore up points with some big like 4x4 beams put up, but it's very haphazardly carved out, like they were in a big hurry. This isn't some kind of like permanent construction. It's more of it just has to last long enough to get us where we're going and back out again kind of vibe to the architecture. So yeah, it's a very like rough hewn, the dirt walls, and there's like roots hanging out of the bits and pieces and things like that. You can see at the very far end of the tunnel where it looks like it hangs a turn, there is a very bright glow coming from around the corner.
Oh.
On our way down, Shelly's gonna be like, guys, the earth is shaking and this tunnel looks real weird. So like if we all die in here, it was good to be your friends, and I'm sorry I'm gonna have to watch you all suffocate for an hour before I finally die too.
How about we just get through the tunnel and not worry about dying?
So
Yeah.
with that bit of morbidity, you feel a fourth earthquake. This
Nice.
one is quite a bit more powerful than the others, considering you're now much more in proximity to where it seems to be coming from, and it's also just more intense than the last one in general.
Shelly reflexively pulls into their shell.
Oh.
I'm gonna sort of lean up to Lucy and say, Lucy, can you do that tappy thing you do to make me harder to hit?
Oh.
Could have used that
Oh,
before
you-
the fighting pit, but I didn't want to cheat.
That's fair. So she will tap Azar on the shoulder and cast Shield of Fate
Yeah,
on him.
thank you.
Cast it twice. Why you do that now?
It does
Anyway.
it sometimes. Alright, so that makes my AC 17.
Alright, so Lucy's gonna step carefully forward until there and peek
Same.
around the corner.
Shelly kind of pokes their head out and is like, "Oh, is it okay? Okay." Gets back up and follows along.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, one. Nope, keep clicking the wrong thing here. That, that, and that. Okay. So you peek around the corner there, and you see. Let's grab the revealed. You see that. Yeah, you kind of get like this kind of
There's people in there.
so you see that the bright light that was illuminating the tunnel is some kind of like spherical ball of energy. It's extremely bright. Like you do a bit of like a camera flash, blink, blink, blink to get your eyes to adjust. Because it's just a very intensely bright light, and then you can see there's a handful of like acolyte looking miniony people standing around, and then two more authoritative types that are closer to this ball, and they're seem to be casting spells at it.
Do any of them look like Bardolphus?
Or Loris, either one.
No, not at this distance or angle. You can't really be 100% sure, but it doesn't look like it.
Alright.
Lucy's gonna pull her head back into cover and be like, "There's a lot of people in here casting spells. Some kind of barrier.
Oh, that can't be good.
I'm pretty sure we should stop them."
Yeah,
there's a lot of people.
we should probably just go in and kill them.
That's messy.
Life is messy.
I don't like it.
Were like all of their faces, their heads like turned looking toward the light? Were any of them like looking back toward the tunnel?
No, they are the ones that you can see are all focused on the whatever kind of ritual thing is happening in front of the sphere, and you caught like it was a little hard to see at the angle because it's sort of out on the fringes of the room, but there is some sort of like corpse of it looks like a giant ant of some kind, maybe some kind of insect that it looks like they got into a fight with.
Oh,
That'd be
okay. I'm gonna look at the others. I've got a bow. And Kinley, can you attack at range? I would like to get a few shots off on these people before.
And just pull out the two guns.
Oh. Are you sure you know how to use them?
Yeah, I believe I figured them out.
Oh, what about you, Lizzie? Can you do you?
Sorry,
do you
there
have-
was a cough. What happened?
Yeah, sorry.
What about you, Lucy?
I can run in and cause a distraction.
Well, I mean, before we run in and they see us, I want to try and maybe take a couple of them out.
I have. I'm not made for.
So,
fighting.
I have an idea.
What's the idea?
I can make a fog bank where they'd all be basically blind, and we could put it in the deepest part so they have to come to us. It'd be hard to see them to attack them at range, but they wouldn't be able to see us either.
Or they're spellcasters and they can just fire spells down this small hallway and collapse.
Well, that's the thing,
blow
is
us
that
up.
most spells, you have to be able to see your target.
But we won't be able to see them either, and will this stop them from doing whatever they're doing to that glowing orb?
They won't be able to see anything, so they can't cast spells at it.
What if they just have to chant at it?
I don't know.
I think that's a really good idea, but at the same time, I don't like the idea of not being able to see who I need to kill.
So maybe I can cast it so that only like the back couple people are out of it, and then we can just take them like two at a time.
Doesn't sound like that bad of an
Okay,
idea.
but if things get hairy, you can drop it. Like,
Yeah, totally.
all right, so here's what we'll do. Kinley and I will take our shots. You cast your fog bank, and then
I clear
Suit
whoever
of
comes
armor
first.
here can just charge in like a crazy lady, swinging her shield and axe. Sounds good?
Cool.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. I'll get out my bow and knock an arrow and... Come on, Kinley, get up here. Lucy, you have to let Kinley by.
Alright. Well,
And I will ready fog cloud.
Sorry, I can just move in and out. So
Yep. So I'll move out to there. And I will aim...
want to go for the big boys or the small boys?
Well, she's gonna fog cloud all of them up there, so I guess we'll take out the ones on the ends first. Let's go for Acolyte A.
All right. You want to go same targets or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean...
All
Alright,
right.
so I will fire at Acolyte A.
And I will
But
fire.
you're staying towards the back end of the tunnel, or are you moving up towards the opening?
Well, I'm kind of moving up toward the opening a little bit. Just enough so that I can knock my arrow and fire.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm showing you as much of the room as you'd actually be able to see. Like if you move more towards the actual mouth of the tunnel, you'd start picking up the edges of the room, but you also risk being spotted out of the corner of somebody's eye.
I'm gonna use luck. My last luck. Yeah.
better.
Okay, and that was aimed at Acolyte A?
Yes.
Okay. So you nail them for sure. It's not a critical though. So they are well wounded, right? It's like you nail them right in the shoulder. But they are still up, and they are now aware that somebody with a bow just put an arrow in their back.
Yeah.
Kinley, now.
Yeah, I will step in, take my first shot at this guy. Ba-da-ba-da.
Oh, this is gonna be loud.
Yep. And
Oof.
will
Oh,
miss horribly,
Yeah.
and I will fire with the other one. Jesus Christ, my rolls today.
I thought you knew how to use those.
I do use them. Just haven't fired them a lot yet.
So that one does hit. The second
Oh,
one
cool.
does hit.
All right.
you didn't have to use lucky. Darn.
So that will be.
So that was aimed at the same one that
Yep.
Czar shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
that is enough to put them down.
Right, and then I duck back
They
down the
may
tunnel.
not have gotten a chance to like help, but you've well alerted the room to your presence.
Yes. It's loud explosions.
So at that point, we are gonna this. That.
Shelly smokescreen.
Well, after the big booms. I think Kim was telling us that kind of ruined our element of surprise.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I mean, this is all happening basically at the same time, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could still set it off if you want to, but they know that somebody is in the tunnel behind them at this point. So
Sure.
it would be effective at obscuring you, but they know you're there. But even if you casted the fog, they were gonna know somebody cast fog. Like they didn't. It's not gonna
Yeah.
spontaneously appear. So it's
Right.
not really like a wash to use it or not use it.
I mean, I would still do it because I readied it anyway. So
All right. So roll initiative.
Yes, we're gonna get that cleared out of there.
Ooh, Lucy.
Oh, meatballs.
Way to go.
Oh.
So did you say that I could go ahead and cast that?
Yes.
So I would want it centered right on this corner of this guy. And
Okay.
it's 20 feet in every direction.
Okay.
Ooh, another
okay.
nat 20.
Not so it
Wait.
gets A and D.
Why is it .15?
It's a case of ties. That's how it breaks ties.
Yep.
Huh.
Kinley
So I
has a
would want
higher
at least-
dex.
A and D would have been out. A is dead now, but so D is still visible.
That or no, you wanted it a little.
It's 20 feet in every direction.
Oh,
So
okay.
40 feet across.
Bigger. This is easier to do in fantasy grounds, unfortunately. Like they have like a quick like ellipse tool that you can just drop, and it does all the quick measurements and stuff. Nope, that's the wrong tool. I totally can do this. I promise.
We need to get together and I'll show you my caster tricks
No, because it's
for
Drawing.
dropping area of effect stuff.
yeah, would be super helpful because it's gonna be like that ish.
Sure. That works.
Something kind of in that.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're all obscured in heavily obscured in fog.
Yes.
Um,
Which means they are all blind while inside of it.
so that's gonna be fun. Let's.
So yours was 9 or 12?
And I had to move up, so I'm still in the tunnel.
And as this was happening, Lucy, weren't you going to be charging in?
Yeah, probably up to the entrance of the tunnel to keep them from coming in and attacking you guys.
All right.
Most of them are kind of casters. You probably actually want to attack somebody.
She wouldn't be able to get to them.
Probably not.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like here is the farthest she could get D. Right there.
The purpose of the cloud is to make them come to us.
Yeah, but
They
casters
have to
really
come
aren't.
out. Yeah.
Well, they'll have to come out, but casters aren't gonna run into melee. They're gonna shoot spells from a distance
Right.
as soon as they pop out of the cloud.
But I'm just letting you guys know that you don't have to go into the cloud because the purpose is
Oh,
to draw
yeah.
them out.
Okay, so we are at the top of the initiative order. Kinley's up first. Lucy will follow right behind, and then we will kick in from there.
All right. Move up here. I grabbed 2 other guns from my belt. My belt's literally like circled with guns. And I will fire at D. Ba-ba-ba.
Since I'm right here, can I see more of the
Yeah, you would be able to see that.
I think say 14 would hit.
Yes, 14 will hit.
All right, for 5 damage.
Okay,
And
so you can see that there's a couple more of those insects that have been fought and killed, and they've managed to take out a couple of these minion-looking people as well. There's been some attrition along the way here.
all right, and my offhand.
Oh,
that will definitely hit.
Yep. Those were both on
D.
on D, so that will drop them.
I clicked on something. I don't know what that was.
Yes, you did.
By accident. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a something.
You're revealing the secret code sauce.
Yeah. So that is that all you're getting up to, Kinley?
That's all I can do. I'm just going to move back behind the wall.
So, Lucy, it is your turn. Just with the heavy backlight of the ball, the white fog cloud is basically like, it looks like yellow cotton candy almost because it's so illuminated by the light behind it. But it's heavily obscured. You can't really see anything in the cloud. It's just a big ball of yellow cotton candy.
Fun. Hold on. Maybe I can do that? Not sure. I don't think I can do anything without watching it, seeing anybody. So she's probably just gonna stand up more a little bit and wait for either people to try to run out at him. But okay. Oh no, that's about it. Yeah, that's about all she can do. Just walk forward and act as a meat shield. Like she's supposed to.
So, it rolls around to one of the acolytes' turn, and surrounded by fog and stuff, he's gonna be like, what the? We got company, and he's gonna come running back to try to see if they can spot who or what is responsible for this interruption. He's gonna run out 20. He's gonna run the whole way out. So he's gonna run out and basically bunk right into you as he comes out of the fog. It's like, oh shit, and take a attack at you. So 22 to attack to hit. That hits. So you're gonna take 8 damage.
Darn. 8 damage. All right. Oof. Ooh.
And then that's their turn. And it is Czar's turn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should give me advantage.
Yeah, you got him flanked.
All right, so rapier with advantage.
That hits.
It's not enough to drop him completely, but he's well wounded off that.
Then I'll hit him again. A second attack. My offhand.
9's going to miss.
That's supposed to be an advantage. Sorry,
Oh.
it didn't roll with advantage.
Yeah, roll take the advantage on it.
There we go.
There you go. So that'll hit. And it is just enough to put him on his backside. So you rapier through, funk, and he just kind of try to grasp for air, and it just sort of leaks out through the hole you made, and he falls. So that one, which one is that? That was G. Is dead. Okie doke. So that's your turn then, Czar?
Yep. That's
And we
it.
are over to Shelly. What would you like to do, Shelly?
So Shelly is going to move up. Still not entirely certain that we need to kill all these people. So they're going to use minor illusion, do their thing. Loud booming voice that sounds nothing like them. That just says, "Lay down your weapons or you all die. Surrender."
Okay. Go for an intimidation check. Since you're trying to break their spirits. Yeah,
Tell them all it is.
they're obscured by fog, but you're not hearing the sound of like weapons clanking on the ground or any sort of like we give up. Like so, you get the feeling it may not have broken their spirits like you were hoping.
Yep, that's fine.
So it is now one of their turns, and they are going to keep doing what they've been doing. And
Blindly flail it.
2, 5 of them are dead. Wow, even then. So they cast a spell. You can't see it because of the fog. But you just kind of hear like a "God damn it!" and their turn passes.
That's a proper reaction.
So
Sorry.
one of the acolytes, it's their turn. They'll come barreling out of the fog, and oh crap, there's a whole bunch of them. And just sort of take a swing at the first person he comes across, which is going to be Czar.
Rip.
That's a 10 to hit.
That will not hit.
Okay, so they come out of the fog, see a bunch of people abruptly just swing wildly and just miss and just crap.
Sorry. As they attack me, I'm gonna use one of my maneuvers, repost.
Yeah.
When they miss with an attack, I can attack back and add a superiority die to the damage if I hit them.
Sure.
All right. So, see if I can hit him. There we can.
Yep.
There we go. And then an additional 1d8 of damage.
Okay. So he swings wildly. You kind of like duck and stab forward, and it just and they are also now deceased.
Rip.
Oh, okay.
That was just that was a whole bunch.
Zara isn't violent or anything, I promise.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So now it is the one, well, not the last, but almost with the last. Hearing a lot of like, weapons clashing and yelling and people dying. This acolyte's gonna run out, assuming that it's more of the insects that they've already been fighting, just to find not insects, not insects. Oh crap! Oh crap! They're very like oh god, oh god. But it's a 23 to hit on you, Czar.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
So you're gonna take 7 damage. That was like them in full desperation mode. They're just like ah, and they managed to clip you.
All right.
So let's see. Then it's gonna roll around to their turn, and they're gonna go ahead and burn one of their spell slots to dispel the fog cloud.
Oh.
So
That's good.
you see the cloud start to dissipate a little bit, and then you see this person here is making a bunch of like hand gestures for it to dispel magic, and the cloud woof 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 wafts away.
Hey, made him burn a spell slot.
And a turn.
Win. Yep.
So then it is their turn. They're gonna turn around and see like full stock of what's going on here. You know, there's a bunch of dead bodies and a group of people that weren't supposed to be here, and they're gonna turn back around and cast Sanctuary on the person standing in front of the bubble.
Oh.
Oh.
So with Sanctuary, you have to make with a Wisdom saving. I have to double check. It's a Wisdom saving throw
If
in
you wanna
order to
hit the
be able
target.
to hit them. Otherwise, you have to either hit someone else or lose the attack.
Or kill the one that's casting it.
Yeah.
No, it's not a maintain spell.
It's not.
No.
No, it's not concentration.
Oh.
It just lasts a minute.
Huh.
The spell breaks if the person who's being protected deals damage to someone else. So they will go ahead and cast that, and then that'll be their turn. And then we'll come back around to Kinley.
All right. So I will come up here. Pull out 2 more guns. And I will just take a shot at this person in green.
Okay.
That's
21 will hit.
All right. For 3 points of damage.
Okay.
And second shot. I think that'll miss.
Yes, that misses.
All right. And I will move back here.
Certainly get my math skills dusted off. Having to do all this HP math in my head. So that's your moves. So then, Lucy, it's your turn.
Alright, so Lucy will not. Okay, that's not the right spot. We'll move up to this guy and smack. Wait, actually. Nope, okay. She's gonna smack him with her hand axe. 17.
17 will hit.
Alright, he takes 3 points of slashing.
Okay. Still up on their feet.
Heathen.
Got a good into the shoulder. But they're still up. They're just kind of like blood's sort of pooling on their cape a little bit.
Alright, that does it for my turn.
Okay, Czar, it is up to you.
All right. I'm looking through my maneuvers here really quick. All right. He's going to come up to here. And then stab at that guy. And I'm going to blow my superiority to do precision attack, which gives me a D8 onto my attack roll.
Okay.
Oh, so it's a 13. Fuck me.
It's enough to hit.
Yeah, would it have hit before?
No, it was gonna miss.
Ah! Alright, so 5 damage on that. And then I'll follow up with my second attack with my offhand.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Okay.
is nice.
That hits. They are looking much worse for wear. They're not dead. But they're just like, holy crap! What the hell are you doing? Leave me alone! Stop it! Like, stop it! Stop it!
That will end my turn.
Shelly, it is your turn.
Shelly is muted. I will walk. Let's see, how far can I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go there. And I'm gonna like yell at the dude that's now sanctuaried, spear in hand, and be like, bro, you lost. Give it up. Because I can't get to him and do anything else. So I will just tell him that he should probably give this up. And then wait till next turn to smack him, because I can't do that yet.
Okay. Uh, it's now their turn. Having tried to talk them down, they're going to kind of look over their shoulder at you and kind of like snicker, just like, and turn back and keep doing what they're doing.
Okay, it's your funeral, dude.
It's not nice to ignore the turtle.
Where? Okay, so that changes the map a little bit. Maybe like that. Wow, really? All of a sudden, like, was rolling real strong, and then all of a sudden, just rolling real bad.
Yay!
And this is, ironically, this is exactly what happened the last time.
Yes, it is.
It was just like bam, 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 and then you walked into the room, and all of a sudden it was just like 5, 8, 5, 13. I'm just like, oh, I can't get any of this shit to land. It's,
that's awesome.
I'm calling it destiny because it to happen twice is just impressive.
Yeah.
So it is now their turn, and they're gonna turn around here and come closing in on Czar here, who's been just laying damage into people like crazy, and take a swing at you. And it's only a 6. So that's gonna miss.
That will miss, and I will use my reaction to blow my last superiority die to repost him.
Okay.
Come on, hit. I want to be a badass. Yes!
Yeah, that hits. Doesn't kill him, but
It doesn't matter. I just want
hurt-
to be a badass.
hurts him a whole bunch. Looking real like you might have gotten a kidney or something with that stab. Like they're very just like but they're still on their feet. So now it comes around to her turn, and she is going to. What is she going to do? She is going to cast. She's gonna go ahead and cast. That's gonna be. Yeah, she's gonna go ahead and cast Necrotic Flame,
Ooh.
which is like the evil version of Sacred Flame.
Deck save.
Yep.
Alrighty. I'm good
I
at
was
those.
like, I'm sorry, what?
Not today, I'm not.
Yeah, it's basically like Sacred Flame but evil. So yeah, she's going to go ahead and just get you for 2 damage.
It feels a little like an acid burn, but not with the same sizzle. It's like it just sort of rots away a little bit on you. You're just like, ah.
That's fucking rude. You're gonna die now. Not that you weren't before, but you're really gonna die now.
Okay. So we roll around to the last of the. Oh no, that's not what I was trying to click on. The last minion is going to turn around and do his level best to put a dent in Lucy. We're gonna hope for the best here. That's a 10 to hit, so that's gonna
Nope.
be a no. So he just kind of like tinks off the armor with their sword, and it's just like, this isn't gonna be very happy. And it is back around to Kinley again.
Alright, so grabbing my last 2 ready pistols, I go inside. Walking over this guy. And I will fire both shots at that thing again.
That one hits.
Right, for 9 points.
And that is going to put her down.
Alright, and I will
So you just kind of get a poof and just and blah 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 blah.
Alright, I'll put my other shot in this one over here.
That'll definitely hit.
For 3
And
points.
that's enough to put them down as well. Just kind of. There's a little bit of a splash out onto Czar. Just a little blood out of the hole from the projectile going through the acolyte a little bit.
I kind of cheer when the blood splashes. I'm like, now it's a fucking battle.
And then it's gonna come around to Lucy.
Alright, she's gonna smack the dude that tried to smack her. Oh, that's not gonna hit. Ooh. That's a 7. That's bad. There's a bad roll. Rip.
Yeah, so that's gonna miss.
Nah, I only get 1 action. So that's it.
So now Czar's turn.
She's in grid.
Alright.
You little shit.
Well, Zara's gonna come up here and he's gonna go to make an attack, so I'll roll my wisdom save.
Okay.
So for attack 1, that's gonna be an 11. I'm guessing that's not gonna cut it.
Let's see. It's not enough.
Alright, so I'll lose that attack, so then I'll attack with my offhand, another wisdom save, right?
Yep.
Alright.
Alright, gotta be a 12. Gotta be a 12.
That's enough.
There we go.
That'll get
Alright.
through.
So there we go.
That'll hit, and that'll do a tiny bit of damage.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Shelly, it is your turn.
Shelly's going to walk around in front of him. Can I get between him and the bubble? Like that?
Not really. He's like, just for the map layout, he's not on it, but he's basically like hands just off the bubble. He's not touching it, but he's just like hands are like right there.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Okay.
Damn,
Well,
must
I'm
have
gonna
been
go ahead
frustrating
and
to hit.
roll my wisdom save.
Right on it.
Low.
That does it. Yay.
Is 12 good?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. And then they're gonna just stab them in the hand with their spear.
Ow.
Oh.
Be like, drop it.
Drop your hands.
Try and cleave off a finger.
First time I've used my spear. Yeah, whatever.
Aw.
Yeah, so that won't be enough to hit.
It's like a smack on the top of the hand, like drop it, but doesn't actually do anything. So.
Okay, so we are now around to their turn again. We've got okay, lots of casualties here. Okay, So they, they've got their hands extended out, and they kind of do like a chest compression motion, like a push in, and you finally get to see, because you missed all the first couple, a layer of this bubble pops, almost like an actual bubble. There's a like a wave of radiant light energy that sort of washes over the room, and then earthquake, which is substantially intense because you're like right on top of what turned out to be the origin of these earthquakes. So the whole thing's shaking, and there's dirt falling from the ceiling, and like roots and things are wobbling, and everybody's kind of everybody needs to make a dexterity save to see if the earthquake knocks you on your butt. That includes them.
Fuck.
Alright.
I'm on the butt.
Let's see. So Shelly's knocked down, Lucy's knocked down, Kinley and Czar are up.
Yeah, fighter power.
Excuse me. So this minion is down and falls down prone, and then
Yay, at least it can't attack me.
okay, the spellcaster is still on their feet. So Czar and Kinley and the spellcaster are up. Everyone else fell prone, but it's easy enough to stand back up once it rolls around to your turn. And they're just kind of like, finally, yeah. And that will also that, or no, sorry, count it out. Okay. So you can see in the wake of that bubble popping, there are 2 layers of bubble remaining, and the light that was coming off of this is now dimmer than it was before that layer popped. So it's like everything's sort of diminished a bit as a side effect of this. And then it's going to be this minion's turn. They're going to stand up, and they're going to do their best to take a swing at Lucy.
If she got knocked down, they get advantage, don't they, since she's prone?
Yep.
Yeah. She hasn't had the chance
Poor
to
Lucy.
stand up yet. Does an 18 hit?
Nope.
Nope. So they're swinging at the ground and just not getting a good purchase on you. They're missing. That's their turn. They're dead. They're dead too. So it is Kinley's turn.
Alright. I draw my sword and move up to here. And try to attack this guy. Let's see. Wisdom save.
Oh.
Definitely not.
Oh.
I think that's it. Yep. I only have one attack with the sword, so.
Okay.
That's it.
Not 2-weapon fighting.
So
No, it's sword
Lucy,
and
it
shield.
is your turn.
I'm gonna get back up.
Mm-hmm.
Does that bust an action?
No, it only takes half of your normal movement. So you could your normal movement's 30 feet, so you could still move 15 feet, and you still have your action.
Alright, I'm gonna try to smack him. Ah, Christ.
Nope. Afraid that's gonna miss.
It's all good, Lucy. You keep him busy.
Get the other down.
And then it is Czar's turn.
Whoop. Unfortunately, I won't have advantage because Shelly's down, but
Yeah, she hasn't. They haven't had a chance to stand back up yet.
yeah, when they get back up, at least they'll have advantage and chop
Just-
off some fingers.
Push him over my shell.
Shove him.
That is a good idea. I could do a shove action. First, I gotta do my wisdom save. Nope. All right. So I
You
take
could
my
you could
first
turn and
strike.
you could turn and push Kinley instead.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna miss him as I stab at him, and then, I think about doing it, and I just sort of like reach back and elbow Kinley instead. Um, then I'll go for my second attack. Let me roll another wisdom save. Yeah.
Okay, that'll get you through. Yeah, because you either have to change targets or you just lose the action. So you can always choose to throw it at somebody else.
16 for 8.
Okay, that'll hit, and that'll get them for 8 damage. There. Okay. Now it is Shelly's turn.
Okay, so is there? I'm standing up first, assuming I'm not like turtle on my back.
Mhm.
Is there a way that I can either grapple or shove him back away from the bubble? Like I don't know how you want to play grapple and stuff like that. So
We
I'm
haven't
just
run
checking.
into it yet, so this is gonna be something we're gonna sort out real quick. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be a contested. No more than one size larger than you. Strength, athletics check, and then they'll make a contested strength athletics.
And do I need to roll a wisdom save first?
Yes, because you are trying to make an attack towards them.
Okay.
Or like a threatening action towards them.
Son of a bitch.
Nope.
That's sanctuary, y'all.
Yep. All right.
That's what it's there for.
Yep.
Hopefully it goes away soon.
I'm just gonna like stomp my foot and be like, "Would you stop it already?"
Oh.
Okay.
Oh no, you've made the tortle mad.
So it's now back around to the spellcaster's turn. They are going to just keep pressing on. They chest compression again, and pop! Another wave. Woof! Another massive earthquake. This time, some like chunks of earth do fall in the room. They don't hit anybody. They kind of crush some of the dead bodies that are laying around. Yeah, everybody needs to make a dex save again to see if you get knocked on your butt. Dar's good. Shelly's good.
I don't think I'm good.
Kinley's good. Sorry, Lucy, you are gonna fall down again.
Damn it! Get this spellcaster already!
So the minion falls down, but the spellcaster stays on his feet. He's still sturdy.
Bitch.
So there is now a much dimmer effect. There's only one bubble left, because friggin' rolled super strong before you found the place, and then started rolling like crap, which was kind of the opposite of how that was supposed to work. It's gonna be all dramatic, and there's gonna be lots of tension as the bubbles get torn down. And anyway, there's only one bubble left, and with that, you hear like a menacing but melodic laugh, just kind of like disembodied. And then inside the bubble, within that sphere of radiant light and energy, you see something that you have not seen before.
That's right. We never saw anything before. Fuck me.
You see
Shit.
the visage, an image of. Come on, go where I need you to go. There you go. Of this person
Oh,
appear inside of that bubble of sphere. looking very, very regal, very menacing, very threatening, very just, oh, that's not good. And
Those horns look familiar.
make a perception check.
Kinley, is that your
Perception
mother?
check.
No.
No, that's
looks-
grandfather.
She
I
looks.
meant more
she look-
like the symbol on the shield or the guns, and I didn't actually see the medallion, so.
Yes, that horn pattern does look extremely familiar.
Guys, gotta get him away.
But you were
That's what
onto
we're
that.
trying to do.
Try
So
harder.
she's appeared in the bubble, and she kind of, with the menacing yet still somehow kind of melodic and beautiful sounding laughter, and then she lets out a fantastic, just one to go, just bring it down, topple the pillar, and then she sort of fades back into the glowy light of the bubble.
I don't know what gods are watching, but we can definitely use your help now.
So it rolls around the disc acolyte's turn. They're going to stand up. They're going to take a shot at Lucy, and they're probably going to miss again because they suck at their. But that sanctuary came in clutch, so they are going to get all the rewards. No, they missed terribly.
Like, as long as it's not a 21, they miss.
Yeah. So it's
Getting Kinley.
Kinley's turn.
All right. Make my wisdom save.
Yeah.
All right. And this time I'm gonna wield my sword two-handed.
Fuck yeah.
16 hits
That'll hit. Yeah.
for a whole 2 damage.
God damn it.
Paper cut.
Damn it.
Hey, paper cuts are nasty.
So it is now Lucy's turn.
Everybody,
Oh,
welcome
please
Demon to the
let-
world.
Let
Right.
me hit the bitch.
How about you ignore that bitch
That-
and go after the guy on the bubble?
That hits. That hits.
That's only 2, though.
Yeah. You've been missing this guy like crazy. So unfortunately, he is still on his feet. But looking well and proper hurt.
Good. At least I'm hurting him. That ends my turn. Zar, do something!
I'm
Zar.
trying.
It is your turn.
Oh, that's one failed.
Nope.
And I'll elbow Kinley again. And for my second attack, fuck me! And I'll definitely elbow Kinley again.
Wow, that sanctuary really came in clutch.
Yeah.
It was not
Did a lot better than last time.
Yeah, that didn't really slow you down a lot the last time.
All the
I am
acolytes were
very
dead at this point last time too.
by a lot. It was a whole very different. Yeah. Anyway, not to rehash old adventures. So that's what you've got. While this is all going on down here, Finnegan is making his way through the swamp. You're feeling these earthquakes getting progressively stronger. You've felt 6 of them now in total, progressively stronger every time. You've picked up, just from natural instinct, that it's coming from the west of you, which is the general direction of the Druid Kingdom. But that's all at the distance that you're at. That's all you really got. But you notice a like up in the sky, a dome of light has started to expand out across the sky over the continent and is closing down towards the tops of the mountains. It looks like it's doming in the continent. You're muted, by the way.
This is all Finley's fault. If he would have been here, we could have killed this guy already.
So you're saying we're being trapped in an island, a large 100-mile island. Trap.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, since I know what direction the earthquakes are going, I'll probably be bolting that way instead. whatever direction I feel the earthquake's going is where I'll probably be rushing towards.
Okay. Still, unfortunately, going to take you time to get there. It's just,
Oh, that's fine. I expect you guys to be done by the time I get there. Honestly.
Yeah.
Or dead.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So while they're down there dealing with all of this, you get to see the side effects of their, let's call it less than stellar performance, as that dome effect kicks in, and you're thinking back to when you entered onto the island, and there was that weird, super smooth walled 5-foot gap in the mountain range,
Mm-hmm.
and then the dome, and you're like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense now. That's where the dome slices through the mountains and slices the mountains in half and seals everyone in.
Great, great. I love whoever's running this magic show. Definitely A+ on their part of closing the doors.
So, we'll get this battle wrapped up here. We'll cut back to Shelly. It is your turn.
So Shelly is kind of desperate at this point. Not sure what exactly is happening, but does not want it to continue happening. And I really hope that all this narration helps my dice rolls somehow, because they're going to do something that none of you have ever seen them do before. Another one of their tattoos that you haven't seen lights up, because they heard Czar saying that, whatever gods they're listening, I hope they are listening. And so they're going to call on Ambriel's help and cast their own sacred flame on the guy, because none of their options are really that great for damage dealing. But here's hoping.
Hey.
So that's a dex save.
Okay. I will have him. Okay. What is your spell DC for? Oh no, yeah. What's the DC
It's
on that?
12.
Okay. So they fail that, so they'll take that damage.
So that's 5 radiant.
I am, yeah. I am shocked. I know I don't keep harping on it, and like we've all been harping on it. It's just really surprising how vastly different this has gone compared to the other time we attempted this adventure. So it is back around to the spellcaster's turn. They are going to extend their hands, be like, "Come on, I can do this. I can do this," and they are going to take their best shot. And they are not going to succeed on that. So they do their compression against the bubble, and it just kind of like off the surface of the bubble. You feel like a bit of like wind almost kind of like disperse across the bubble. It's not enough to crack that last shell, and he's just like, yeah, I've only got one more try, and then it'll be their turn, and it comes around to this acolyte here, who's going to take a swing at the Lucy, and probably miss because they are doing abysmal. Yep, miss horribly. Just God, they really came in clutch with that sanctuary though. Couldn't have done it without him. And Kinley, it is your turn.
All right. Again, we try to attack him.
Does this say how many?
Yeah.
Very nice. It doesn't
Yay!
keep count of how many turns deep we are.
But we'll
Man.
totally miss.
No, but there's a way to add a tracker to the turn tracker that I can show you.
Okay, that would be good. Because just so that way when we run in the Ds, like it only lasts 10 turn things, make sure that we actually keep count
We
of
need
that.
to start making a list of all the things I said I'd show you.
Yeah.
Alright, so you missed.
Yep, of course I
No.
miss.
Yeah,
Oh,
you missed.
oh yeah, you missed. Damn it.
This is our luck tonight.
Where's those nat 20s?
I
Alright,
don't know.
So
Lucy, it is your turn.
Oh, I know. I'm all out of
one
luck.
barrier
That's why.
left.
Yeah.
She's gonna. He's gonna have an attack on the opportunity on her, but whatever. She's gonna run there and use a bonus action to cast Searing Smite, and then which adds 1d6 of fire damage. Well, deals an extra 1d6 of fire damage if it succeeds, and then smack him with her hand axe. Oh wait, I need to do the fucking
Wisdom
before.
save.
Wisdom save.
Sorry. Oh shit! That's a nat 20 on the wisdom save.
That
Fuck.
is a nat 20 on the wisdom save.
But it's 8.
You can re-roll that hand axe. Nat 20 on the wisdom save. I'll let you re-roll that hand axe attack.
Yeah. 22.
Yeah.
3 slashing. Now I need DC 12 Constitution save.
Don't you have something nastier than a hand axe?
No.
She does, but she's using her
I
shield.
have my shield to get a higher AC, so not really.
Yeah, she can't use a greatsword.
Bomb the Constitution check.
Rip.
So they're taking, was it 5 extra damage? Looks like it was.
Okay, bomb like they didn't succeed it.
Yeah, they did really bad at their con check, so they failed it.
So I need to roll a d6 of fire damage.
It already rolled you for it when you cast a spell.
Yeah.
It'd be 8 damage total.
Yeah.
Nice.
Coming in clutch, Lucy.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is now Czar's turn.
Wisdom
Which-
save.
Which that was Searing Smite, so they're on fire now.
They're on fire right now.
That's gonna impair spell casting. All right, there's the wisdom save.
Yep, you make that.
Attack with advantage. Oh, fuck me.
That's yeah, that hits.
Yeah. All right, wisdom save. Think.
Do
Hold
it.
on, Stop.
Do it.
Stop. Damn game. All right, wisdom save. Yes.
Holy balls.
And then offhand attack with advantage. For 3, but it's more damage.
Yep.
And that'll end my turn.
Okay.
How's he looking, by the way?
Looks fine.
Of course.
Shit.
Like, even for somebody sturdy, he looks unusually fine for the amount of damage that you've dealt to him.
And for being on fire.
Yeah. Like, he seems awfully calm for being literally a flame.
Alright, Shelly.
Shelly, it is up on you.
So Shelly does not think that they are capable of doing enough damage to actually bring this guy down if he's still not looking hurt after all of this. So we're gonna try another grapple. Try to move him away.
Come on. Fuck.
Nope.
Nope. I'm afraid not.
I'm gonna hug Lucy instead.
Oh.
Let's look at her hugs out. The world's about ready to end.
Yeah. You're gonna contest that hug, Lucy? You're gonna let it happen?
I'm gonna let it happen. Like, what? Okay, we're in the middle of combat here, but okay.
So it is now the spellcaster's turn again.
No.
Come on, burning fails. Burning fails.
Miss it. Gotta miss it.
They're gonna take like a real deep breath because this is the make or break moment. Not to give you inside baseball, but this is their last spell slot. If this is either they get it or they don't get it.
and they're burning. So
Yeah.
he's not
Oh,
present.
they're on fire, so they
Yep.
should make that con save first to see if they take the extra damage. Um.
12 con save.
So they failed the con save, so they do take that extra 1d6 of
1d6.
damage.
Yay, my spell does not end yet.
And they continue to be on fire. Uh,
3 more damage, I guess.
but then they will, like I said, take that deep breath, cast it one last time, make or break. Come on, do the Demon Queen
No.
proud.
No.
Yep.
Fuck.
That went differently than last time.
Very differently. Fuck.
So he chest compressions in, and everything starts to rumble. And it wasn't like the last couple of earthquakes where it would rumble for a little bit and then stop. Like everything is full on rumble, 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 and this bubble pops, and the light just whooshes away into pitch darkness just as quick as it went from like daylight to night, instant darkness. And he just like lets out like a yes, I did it, like super excited. And there is just like darkness in the space as everything's rumbling and going ballistic, and he's surrounded by everyone but completely out of spell slots. It literally took everyone that he had to get this done, but he got it done. So he is going to turn and do his best to push through and make a run for it. Everyone is going to get attack of opportunity. Since he's in pitch darkness and so are you guys, it cancels out. It's just straight rolls. And
I have my coin still.
Oh, you do have your coin still.
I see in the dark.
So it's straight rolls, and I'm gonna say since he pushed his way through, that was enough of an offensive maneuver to break his sanctuary.
Yay! So we just roll attack.
Yep, everybody just straight attacks on him. Everybody's gonna hit so far. Yep. Okay, let's see what that adds up to. 18.
For flavor purposes, mine is more of a trip than a stab, but
I can appreciate that.
26.
So that is gonna take him down to there. He is still moving. Unless, Shelly, do you actually want to attempt to trip him?
yeah, I don't want him to run away.
Okay. So I'll have him make a... We'll put that 4 damage back, and we'll have him make a dex save. Oh, of course, now he rolls really well. So you don't manage to trip him to where he falls. He stumble bumbles, and kind of like half trips over one of the acolytes on the way out, but he does get some distance on you guys.
No.
And the other acolyte, seeing that job well done, is also going to try to make a break for it. He's dashing. He's not playing around. He's just making straight dash. Now it is Kinley's turn.
Alright, I'm going after him. And I will attack him.
That's going to miss.
Will miss.
Lucy, it is your turn.
Alright.
He is still on fire as well. I should have noted that. So even in the pitch darkness, he's still lit up like a Christmas tree.
Alright, she's gonna step in front of him to block him away and give him a good old smack again. Ooh, does a 9 hit?
No, it doesn't.
Damn it. Alright, wanna he still has to save anyways. So
Yeah, when he gets around to his turn. Czar, it's your turn. Flanking, so you get advantage. Okay. That hits. That one hits too.
13. Come on.
He is still on his feet.
Fuck. He has a high con. Somehow.
Shelly, it is your turn.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna like do the motions, and 3 jellyfish come around, swirling around my face, and then I just like and just fling them all at him, and it's magic missile. Get
Like
all
it.
3 of them.
I appreciate the theming.
So that's 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. So the 3 jellyfish whoosh through the air like in a swimming motion, and they flap, flap, flap right onto him. And you see him stop and kind of like chuckle a little bit, and be like, "It's fine. I've already done my job." And he basically starts to pixelate, almost like a grid forms across his body, and then he shatters into basically like a pile of ice cubes on the ground.
Oh no. I didn't mean to kill him.
I meant to kill him. That one's better off dead. He freed some kind of demon?
Him alive with the answers would have been better.
There's still another one.
Yeah.
If we can catch him.
What the fuck even just happened?
I have no clue.
What did he let something out? Shelly, why didn't you disintegrate him earlier? Good job, by the way.
I didn't know I could do that. I don't think I did that.
No, you're the only one with jellyfish goo and jellyfish. You just straight up fucked him out of existence with your spell.
How did you use...
Good job.
Never
That's
mind. I can't
not-
wait for later.
Oh no.
Lucy's
I
got
didn't-
my
very
crisis
curious
over
about.
murdering someone now.
Well, Zar's kind of like grinning at you. I didn't know you had it in you.
Can we go after the other guy? I don't really want to talk about it. Getting kind of sick to my stomach.
So it is around to Kinley. You are
Alright.
like, they've got a bit of a head start on you because they just booked
Yeah.
it once that last shell popped.
Okay.
Everything is still rumbling. Like
Yeah.
the earthquake has not yet subsided. It's been pretty like heavy duty.
So I will come down here, pulling out my bow, trying to damage him in a way to stop him.
Okay, so
An
you're
arrow to the knee.
Yeah.
trying to like put it in his calf or something
Yes.
like that. Okay. That is enough to make a hit.
Alright. So for 7 points.
But you're trying to be non-lethal. Yeah.
Yes.
So that will, catch him in the calf muscle, and they trip and slide across because it's an incline, so they're like trudging up the hill, and they get caught with that arrow, and they just kind of pull and face plant into the hills, like the incline, real hard.
Alright,
And they're
he's
down.
But he's alive.
Good. I've got some fingers to break.
So we are out of combat at this point. There is one acolyte still with a pulse. Everything else is dead.
Yeah. And we get to him, tie him up, and we gotta drag him out of this hole before it collapses.
there's some rumble
Yeah, good
rumble going
idea.
on,
Yep.
and then
Running the fuck out.
GTFOing.
yeah.
Shelly, come on.
Yeah. So we basically get the GTFO, dragging him out before the tunnel completely collapses.
Okay.
Can,
Well,
can
it
Shelly, like, scoop up a couple of the cubes?
yeah, you can grab a few on the way out if you want to.
Oh.
So it hasn't collapsed on you yet. Like everything's shaking and there's clouds of dirt
Right.
from things, but it's not like actively collapsing like
Yet.
action movie style. Just for clarity, just don't want to give you a false impression of the room. So you run back up the incline. You come out through the illusion, which is no longer there. It's dissipated with all of the craziness that's gone on downstairs, and you come back out past the shrine onto the island, and you see just like the whole city's ground to a halt. Everyone's looking up, and you kind of follow up, and you see the dome overhead. It looks like it just encases as far as you can see. Like as far as your eye can see, it's just dome all across the sky.
What
Whoa.
the fuck?
It's the same kind of it looks similar to the bubbles that were downstairs in terms of just the way it's like a shimmery radiant energy kind of swirling in a dome shape.
Great. Whatever was let out down there, now we're trapped in here with it.
Good, that means we can kill it. Easier.
Shelly
Or
drops the cubes,
underprepared.
takes a couple steps away, and like sits in their shell, and just ignores everything for a little bit.
Suppose we should get that one in the council chambers with the other ones.
Yes.
But before we do that, I'm going to walk over and I'm going to break his finger.
Okay. Make a bit. So
Oh my god.
Totally mangled that finger.
yeah, that finger is proper mangled. You've done a whole lot of harm to that hand.
Yeah, I broke it and then I like shook it side to side after breaking it.
Yeah.
So.
Gnarly.
Thankfully, Shelly was already in her shell, so she didn't have to see that.
Shelly, darling, stay in your shell.
So you're so what are you doing now? Like at this point, it's been a few minutes and the rumbling has stopped, or it's like faded out. You can see that there are buildings that have taken some damage from this, between the successively getting stronger and how long that last one went for. There's a few buildings that have, lost roofs, broken windows. A couple of them may have collapsed. You can hear people, as much as everyone was frozen from the random appearance of this giant dome thing, there's a scramble to, dig people out of some collapsed buildings and stuff like that going on. The city's taken a hit from this pretty substantially.
Go ahead, Kinley.
Well, we are in a world of shit. Let's get back to the council chambers and find out what we can from this guy.
But before Czar would leave to go do that, he's going to go back to that little shrine and go inside and take his gold piece back.
Oh.
This is why I don't put any trust in gods.
Fair enough.
I snatch it back up and walk right back out.
Yeah. So as you make your way around the island, Shelly, have you come out of your shell to join them, or are you
once
staying
once
behind
we
for a bit?
started, once I heard them like moving away, I would get up and
Yeah.
follow.
I basically dragged the guy back to chambers by his hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see. So as you're moving across the island here, Shelly, you notice a bit of sunlight glimmer off the back of Lucy's armor,
Oh no.
which seems kind of strange considering this is supposed to be the island of eternal night. Why is there light glistening? And you look up, and the canopy has thinned substantially. Leaves have started to turn brown and fall off the branches, and the canopy's thinning out. At this point, Czar, you hear like a blood-curdling scream that sounds very familiar, like a wail of anguish that kind of reminds you of that one time back in Victoria. As someone else has now noticed the withering tree and the light penetrating through the canopy, and now, like, if people were tense about the dome, they're now in full-fledged, like, the world is ending, apocalypse now, doom, the second coming is here, panic mode. Like,
They
oh
should have
shit.
worked with us when we first got here. The way Czar sees it is that they brought this upon themselves by being little bitches.
Well, or they were in on it to begin with.
Yep. It's time to purge this whole city.
Lucy sees this as a failure.
Oh, it was a failure. The demon just got out.
It's a failure on their part. That's how she sees it. Fucking
Well,
failure.
you'll have to decide what you want to do on that front. If you want to go back and investigate, or what you want to do on that front. So you have. I shouldn't have deleted those two. That's
Let's
my fault.
see.
So they are there and there, tied up, and then you've dragged in a third one, who is currently well, you did mangle their finger, so they're probably at least semi-conscious as you drag them into this room.
Now, those braziers, are they actually on fire?
No, they're not actually braziers. They're like, they look like braziers, but they're communication devices. They're meant to allow the kingdoms to leadership to, like, communicate with each other when they need to, like, put their heads together. Which, as you enter this room, you see what would essentially be like the magical equivalent of a hologram of three figures, one in each, and they're just like, why are the druids not on the call? Where the hell are they? Why aren't they here? What the hell is going on? Earthquakes are coming from their kingdom and they're not answering. What the hell?
I'm gonna pull back my cloak and show them my badge. There's a problem in the Druidic Alliance.
Yeah,
And
we gathered as much.
And I'm gonna stare at the hologram and I'm gonna say, "Let me speak."
Which hologram?
All of them. There's one coming out of each one of the, like,
Statues?
statues.
Yeah.
Does the dome go all the way around the island?
As far as we've been able to tell, yeah. Victoria's cut off. As far as the edges of our kingdom have reported in, everybody's seeing dome. As far as it's mountain, dome. That's all we've got.
Well, you should know, 1, Bardolphus has betrayed the Empire in this kingdom. 2, Cultists just let loose some kind of demon under the giant fucking tree here, and now it's dying. 3, the druids here have resurrected long-dead lizard creatures and have learned to wild shape into them. And 4, I think we're all fucked.
they're just kind of trying to process all of that. And
And
you
I'm gonna reach down and break another one of the dude's fingers. Wake up!
okay? He's well and proper awake at this point. Let's see how badly you've destroyed his hand.
Oh yeah, let me roll another wisdom or medicine.
Just keeping track of the.
I'm like really not trying to do anything, so I'm gonna roll it at disadvantage. Is that okay?
Sure.
Since I'm really being reckless with it. Oh, I'm just too good at it.
So
okay.
yeah, that's a cleaner break.
And I'm gonna say, what was that? What did you do? And why is there a dome over this island?
Okay. Repeat the questions for me one more time.
What was that? What did you do? And why is there a dome over this island?
Okay. Gonna be like, well, what was that? What did you do? And what is the dome? What was that? That was one of the pillars to the great prison, to the divine prison. The prison of our queen. She will be freed as soon as we find the others.
Are they on this island?
Somewhere.
Do you know where?
If we did, they all would have come down at once.
Is Bardolphus a part of this?
Oh.
He paused.
Yeah. He
See, I'm gonna
gives
change my
a
message.
good scream of okay. It gives out a good scream at that break because it's more than a little painful. You're mangling up his hand, and he's yes, Bardolphus. He's the one who got us on the island.
A traitor.
Is this why keepers are being killed? I don't even wait for him to answer that time.
Oh, that's just worse and worse.
Yeah. We've may have encouraged it. It may have been encouraged. But the organization is their own.
Lucy's gonna take Shelly away from.
She just
Shelly's
disintegrated
hiding
somebody.
Yeah.
She just disintegrated somebody. The fingers can't be that bad.
Shelly didn't even go in the room with you guys. They're just sitting outside. So
Well, Lucy wasn't in the room.
How do we stop it?
It can't be stopped. We will not be stopped. We will succeed. We will be triumphant. She will be free.
So what you're saying is we're gonna get no useful information out of you.
I feel like I'm being pretty forthcoming, to be honest. And the two gag guys sitting in the chairs are like, yeah, kind of giving away the whole shop here.
Are they part of your crew?
I mean, that isn't that how you found us?
Actually, no. It's because one of you were stupid enough to let me follow you to the tree the other night.
And
So actually, we need to find out the entire council are traitors, because they all seem to be missing.
Yes, I would ask him about each one of the council members and which ones were involved other than Bardolphus.
so when you mention having followed one the night before, one of the ones in the chair just kind of groans like, "Ah, oh, fuck, I got followed." One of the two of them just happened to be that guy. So no, Bardolphus is the only one, as far as minion knows, Bardolphus was the only one on the council that was explicitly involved. He's the one who got them the high spellcaster smuggled in as one of the necromancers that was helping with the dinosaurs. Forged some visas and some paperwork and like, oh yeah, I'm on the construction team, and then just sort of quietly slipped away.
And we're just
Is he
to
a
be clear,
member
we're still
of the
doing
cult?
this. Who, Bardolphus?
Yes.
Bardolphus is, yeah.
Is he
already
actually a
answered
member
that.
or just assisting them? That's what.
Oh no, he's on our side.
Okay.
He's on Team Demon Queen.
And-
Go Demon Queen.
And to be clear, we are doing this in front of those other like city people, right? So that they're getting all this information at the same time.
Yes, they're all still
Right.
actively on the call and listening intently.
All right. And do you have any clues as to where you would be looking for this next pillar? You're saying it can't be stopped, so no harm telling us.
Well, I don't. They didn't tell. I was just here to protect. I was here to protect the simulacrum, so he could do his job. They didn't tell me where the next one is yet. I don't know if they know. I don't think they know. They're hunting for it, but it's lost to time. Like it took us a lot to find this first one.
And is there anything else that you think I would want to know? And I wiggle his last good finger on that hand. Think hard.
He's actually legitimately thinking hard. It's going to kind of like he's thinking quicker than I'm thinking, so don't break his finger.
I'm not. I'm giving you time.
So he thinks long and hard for a moment. It's back to like the battle and the chatter between you guys during the fight and what was being yelled back and forth between you all and everything like that. And it's Elimzar, right?
What?
You're Elimzar?
Yes.
Couldn't have done it without you, buddy. And then he'll, since nobody bothered to search him, he'll yank a dagger out of his boot and
He's tied up.
Oh, did you tie? No, you didn't tie him up. You never
Yes.
said-
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kinley tied him up in the thing.
Is that,
No,
Yeah.
Yes, she said.
Yeah.
never heard
Yeah.
you say it.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. So he can't. He's tied up. So he says what he said, and then he does not slit his own throat because he can't get his hand in his boot because he's tied up. And I somehow
he
didn't hear you
actually-
say that.
He actually called me Elimzar instead of Zar.
Mm-hmm. And he just let out a snide. Couldn't have done it without you, buddy. And then he thought he was going to be able to kill himself.
I am going to break every single one of his fingers that are remaining.
Whoa.
And then I'm going to knock out his kneecaps.
Oh, that's gonna be atrocious fucking screams coming out of that room.
Yeah, he is. Like, at this point, he's at risk of just dying from the injuries. He was barely
that's-
alive as it was.
That's where I'm stopping. I'm going to let him exist this way for the rest of his life.
What the hell is going on in there?
I mean, yeah, he's barely, like, he's almost dropping dead from the pain alone at this point, because you basically were just this side of killing him when you were down in the tunnel, and then you've now broken every single finger on both of his hands and kneecapped him. So he is basically dying on the ground in front of you, and the people in the holograms behind you are just like, holy fuck, did you see what he just did? So they got quite the show. Which
Good.
was maybe not the first impression you wanted to make to the leadership of the other three kingdoms on the island. I don't know. Maybe it was.
Well, at least it sets a standard going forward not to fuck with the keepers.
I really didn't hear you say that you tied him up. That's my fault. I should have.
Yes.
I didn't catch that somehow.
So as he's laying there screaming on the floor, I'm going to look at the other ones and go, we're going to have longer conversations. And hopefully you don't end up like that.
They're tied up and gagged, so they can't even
Yes.
mumble at you.
Are they at least like nodding at me or anything? Like
Yeah, like they're like one of them's nodding in agreement, and the other one's like vehemently shaking his head no, trying to convey like I've never even heard of you. I don't know anything about this. I don't know who the hell he is or what he was talking about. Like they're in complete like opposite disagreement with each other in terms of like nodding and like nodding. It's like,
all right. I'm going to look back to the leaders of the other kingdoms and I'm going to say, we're going to do what we can here and speak to the council members to get things in order here. We will send word to which one of your kingdoms will be coming next. I would hope that you will be more forthcoming with the keepers than what happened here, so that this catastrophe does not continue to escalate.
and they just kind of like nod in agreement. Like you're keepers, and you're clearly not.
Happy.
I was gonna say diplomatic, but sure, happy. So they're just kind of like, okay, we'll secure things there and let us know what you find out, kind of a thing.
Hey, we were very diplomatic until diplomacy failed, okay?
We were completely diplomatic. It was aggressive diplomacy.
Aggressive negotiations.
Lucy tried,
Basically
but
negotiations with a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy's in the party with two brutes. God damn.
Hey, they're evil. You're lucky Kinley just didn't like pull a gun out and shoot him in the head to finish him off. So
Give him the silver heart. Kind of departure.
Meanwhile, Finley.
meanwhile, back in Finley land.
Yeah. So Finnegan is.
Or Finnegan, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, who the fuck's Finley?
Sorry.
You're now Finley.
Is that our love child?
Yes.
You're. Let's see here. It's still kind of a hike to get to the capital from where you're at. Even at full speed, it's going to take you.
At least half a day, full day, something like that.
Yeah. So we're going. Let's see. Trying to think this through here.
Well, I would say we would probably stick around this place for a couple days to make sure everything is getting sorted out with the council and the city is basically as ordered as it can be considering what's happened before we'd go anywhere, wouldn't we?
And
Yeah, I would assume you would.
Yeah, and I set off.
But-
I set off that message, and I'll probably send off more.
Yeah.
Ooh, that means the keeper are gonna be locked out of the island.
Yes.
Well, it depends on where they are in the first place.
If they
There,
were.
there are some keepers that are on the island and
Good.
such.
Yeah.
Grandmaster Bellafiore isn't going to be happy to pull into Victoria and see a giant dome blocking off the island.
Probably not.
He'll probably just walk out and punch it and it'll explode.
You wish.
Fire it down.
Is this how you greet a grandmaster? Dwarven
So-
suction incoming.
We're gonna say for the sake of things that the rest of today plays out with you guys trying to like regain order, get some kind of semblance of control over the city. The clerics and the rangers and the other council member that represents the druids do show up, do check in, and help you get things under control. Loris is MIA, and Bardolphus is gone. Their whereabouts are not known. After taking a status check, some of the druids have left. Mainly the ones that were most closely affiliated with the project that they were involved in, but not a majority. It's just a small sort of like pocket of druids that were really closely involved in that resurrection project that have bailed with presumably with wherever Loris went, and then because you're kind of doing like head counts and
Yeah.
population checks and things of that sort.
Yeah.
You'll go to bed, you'll wake up the next morning, and then a little bit after breakfast, Finnegan will show up, and we'll pick up next week with him rolling into town, because we're gonna have to call it here.
Okay, I do want to say one more thing. I would make sure that whatever means possible would be to keep the one that I kneecapped alive, even if just barely, because I want to talk to him more later.
Okay. I'm assuming Lucy or Shelly are willing to throw a little healing your way. You can keep him from like slipping away in the agony of torture that you've put him through.
Lucy would not be okay with that, so she would be like, no, let him die.
All right, then I will dump a healing potion down his throat to make sure that he stays alive.
Okay. Yeah, as long as you mark it off your inventory, you force it down his throat. He kind of chokes on it a bit, but you can make him drink it if you try hard enough.
All right, that's all I wanted to do. My only healing potion.
So that is where we're gonna pick back up next week. Is you've had the rest of that day, a night of rest to kind of process your thoughts and get your, act together. Breakfast, a little after breakfast, or somewhere like brunch-ish time frame, Finnegan will roll into town, and you guys can pick up from there and fill him in, and he'll fill you in, and man, did you miss a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry about that. Like, I just kind of the way it unfortunately shook out. I was trying to get you back before that, but there wasn't a way to I didn't want to force you at the same time. I wanted to let you do what you wanted to do.
There's no fast travel here? Fuck!
You didn't have time to stop and ask. But yeah, okay. So yeah, we're gonna wrap up here. We're gonna close because I actually have to run to work here shortly. So that's the end of our night.
All right, I've got the raid going. We're gonna be raiding Rise Up Gaming as usual. Be sure to wave hi at the boyfriend. He's streaming some Spellforce 3, and we're gonna do that now. Drop whenever you're ready,
everybody. Have a good day. We'll see y'all.